How's it going, gang? Welcome back to the Misplay for Game Podcast. As always, I'm Andrew or Elixir.
Hi, I'm Tom, always in the corner, but never out of your hearts, ready to talk about some EX7.
Vortex. Have I done that joke before?
Yeah, you did that last week, actually.
It's because I'm vortexing again.
No, you said the week before, because last week you were
Did
Terry.
you know that they didn't have a fourth guest lined up? That's why I'm here. So that someone in the replies goes, where can I get that Diaboromon plushie? And it funds Andrew's interactions.
Yes, sir. It's okay. I answered the same question 3 times because the really lazy Photoshop job that I did for your Dex list.
I know, I saw that. I was like, I didn't play 51. And then I scrolled down. I was like, Andrew, you fucking...
I looked at it and I was like, I covered the card. I covered the card, so why is
KnTElixar metaverse stream?
Yes,
August?
sir.
Guy, such a cheater.
Yeah, we're on
Cheater today.
everything. The YouTube, the Twitch, and then Spotify and Apple Podcasts later. Shout out to over 1,000 plays on Spotify, by the way. Y'all are great.
Yeah, so hype.
And then Apple Podcasts is certainly a system that people listen to a podcast on. Definitely for real. We're also like, we were just looking at analytics and the podcast is doing well. Some of it is carried by tier list episodes. So you'll be happy to know we'll be inflating our statistics again later with a tier list, but now you get to watch the train crash live. But, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it later. So yeah. How's it going, fellas?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Taking it easy. I've been trying to just get a bunch of stuff organized, trying to build some lists for EX7, finish some stuff off. This, getting things moving.
I want to play Digimon, but at the same time, I think I got to a point where I couldn't be bothered to play 17. Like, I just kind of got fatigued out of the format very quickly.
I feel like that happens every set that we play.
It was more that, like, I think, like, while Numemon was, like, kind of egregious, it was, like, it beat the shit out of, like, random decks that, like, it meant that, like, if you were building to beat Numemon, your deck had, like, a pretty good niche, but, like, trying to build to beat blue decks is, like, nothing feels good. So, like, I'm just like, I guess I'll just get my shit source stripped.
It's also, like, ban list into, like, no set release is always, like...
Yeah, ban list into delay.
Ban list into delay, or just, like, ban list into, like, no new product is, like, you are just playing strictly less of a format than you were previously. Not in terms of quality, but there is just less in the format because decks are gone. So it's like, we are now playing BT17 minus Yellowback armor in its most egregious state, minus Numemon, minus... Wasn't there something else yet?
Yeah, like armor, like the last option card.
But like minus armor in its most egregious state. Yeah, so it's like minus, like, those 3 decks in their most egregious states. And then plus what?
I mean, also they kind of hit AncientGreymon. Like the
minus fucking Hammer. Actually, no, okay, we are definitely playing more of a format because Hammer Spark is at 1 now. That has improved my mental health into a level that cannot be quantified.
What the fuck was that? Hold on.
Is that Derek trolling?
No, I think this is like...
Yeah, the joys of being live. But, like, I think the weird thing about the...
it's crushed the bot skull.
Yeah, I think the weird thing about it is just because they didn't hit all of the decks and they very clearly just, like, left 2 things. Like, yes, you're playing less of a format, but it's also, like, sometimes when they hit cards, it's like, okay, you're playing less of a format. Other weird rogue decks get to creep in, but yeah, kind of like Marcio said, if blue is, like, top, like, your weird rogue deck is gonna get cooked by source strip, bounce, go again.
The thing with this as well, though, is then fucking jump straight into the Imperialdramon is a problem, but why discussion, right? And then
it's just nothing in the format. Like,
well,
really,
I mean, we said this. We also said this in last week.
You can complain about, like, like blue source strip deck or blue bounce deck or blue, stun, like, freeze deck. But, like, the thing that Imperial is now is that it has lived long enough to eat all of those ideas. Imperial is the blue deck that gets to do what all the blue decks do. So it's like, if you're a blue deck playing versus a Garu, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get bounced, but a Garu doesn't play source strip. So, like, you get all your inherits still. Or if you're playing versus, like, what's some other blue deck? All Force. All Force is another bounce deck with no source strip, but, like, it has blocker, I guess.
Mirage is going to go to, like,
Mirage just has a fuckload of unsuspend and bounce, but still no source strip. Then you go to, like, Hexeblaumon, and Hexeblaumon, like, has to go into its deeper toolbox to find its actual removal spells, but it has the source strip and the freeze.
And Tamer Hate, which is new.
Yeah, Imperial has all of it. It has Source Strip. It has fucking better than like can't suspend because it's stun, but it also can't unsuspend because it's fucking green, I guess. And like and it still has bounce bot deck, and it still has like all of its other tools and bells and whistles, and then of course it has its own Imperial specific things. It has fucking Dragon Mode and Primogenitor.
My thing is like, if you look at things that I've done well, like on one side, again, it goes back to the whole like, well, and in NA they just played a bunch of Imperial, and they tried to push a few other things here and there, and even then like the other things I get to be around, like I personally don't find Demon Lords that enjoyable to play against. It's just kind of like the matchups are either very much like you roll them or like you just don't interact with them on a level that really matters.
It's Royal Knights, but it's allowed to play.
It's all one color, so it gets
security.
Yeah, it's all one color, so it gets color synergy tools now as well.
It's like, for example, the breakout deck that was like Gora, its position didn't really change. Like it's still like the 1.5 deck that has good matchups into everything else.
1.5 is an interesting take. I would have said straight one.
He's not wrong based on results.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing with Gora is it's like, what are you hunting with Gora? What does Gora hunt down?
Supposedly Imperial, right? Hunts the Daikens.
Imperial. But like the thing with Daiken as a tamer for Gora to hunt down is there is no tamer in the universe that has an easier time getting sideways than Davis can. Because if you evolve, and as long as it's not in the nursery, fuck it, turn him sideways. Yeah. And then neither version of Gora has a can't play by effect floodgate. So there's no way for you to like, skip the Daikens for a turn. It's like you're going to be playing through all of them for the whole game. Obviously, it's like I am willing to still be wrong about this because like a bunch of results points. Yeah, a bunch of results are all a point. Yeah, also D-Digivolve is a great way to get around all the heinous stuff. But
you can argue that like one of the most interesting things is that like on paper Takemika is like better positioned on paper, but then like I feel like nobody really wants to play Takemika. I feel like there's just no kind of like
the problem with Takemika is that
what I was gonna say, it's like they've built up this idea of like, okay, you have this Fenrir deck and you have these tools and like you get to like the toolbox and then there's no more toolbox and it's just a guy.
Well, they made me into the deck right at the end when they gave it a combo that burns 2 security. But like, if I was going to have built this deck, I would have had to buy my Lugamons and stuff back in BT14. Like, I am way too over the hump to spend that money on the card now, right? Like,
and then as someone who has the Lugamons, both like all-in regulars for because I wanted to play original Fenrir and purple base core, obviously. The thing that happened to Takemika for me was just that 17 has a bunch of cool stuff. Like, I don't mean like good decks. I mean like cool
fun things to milk.
If there's other stuff, I would be like the weeks where I would go, I want to resolve Fenrir, Lugamon, Takamikazuchi. I instead went, y'all read Errata? Of course, the week where I went to locals just to go, I really want to go Miraculous Mega Knight effect here. I need to do it. And you know what? Fucking funny.
The most interesting deck that I've played out of BT17, not counting what I've been playing for tournament practice or whatever, was that I played like Argomon Myotis. It was funny.
Well, we can't. Okay, for the sake of a thing I prepared for later, we can't talk that much about Argomon.
Oh, thank God. I fucking hate talking about Argomon. Reading any of those cards is a headache.
Yeah, guys, talk about new decks that are interesting. Can't talk about that.
I didn't say interesting. I said decks to watch out for.
For what's worth is like...
I have to watch out for Argomon?
You sure do. He's coming for your kids.
The deck...
Who gives a shit?
Hybrid format coming soon.
The green, the green base does not appeal to me because it's like I get to Digizorp with tamers, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, you are right by that. Most of the purple cards have already seen results, and the green cards have not.
The most interesting thing you get to do with like Argo is that if the level 5 Argo is a generic unsuspend for Quartz.
Yeah.
Because you tap Rhythm to unsuspend any Digimon.
I love the comedy of that though is that it means you have to have not played.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like
this is a follow-up turn.
It's a 4 memory to unsuspend because you have to slam Rhythm for 4 and keep turn.
This is a follow-up.
Yeah,
turn,
it's not-
okay.
yeah.
This is the follow-up turn.
It's your lethal.
Yeah, you
This
quartz
is
lock
for the
Or
down.
you use it to unsuspend in your mill hybrid list and end the game. But
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Yeah.
And then like the purple base, at least it's like kind of funny because like
Goblimon, it looks like a deep fake generated card.
Goblimon
0 over purple and green.
No, it's not even Goblin. It's like Myotis, right? Like you evolve
No, like
Myotis.
those cards are like for their own engine. The Goblimon really does look like a. We know what you want to do with these.
I mean, yeah.
We're not gonna make you guys pretend. Play your Argomon Tama and then go play with better rookies.
It's
Yeah.
just it
I love
was
the
fun, it was
existence of-
goofy. It was
I love the
cool.
existence of Ukomon BT16 as this way that Bandai only has to print 2 rookies for your deck now instead of when they used to have to print you 3, because they'll be like, here's your best one, here's your your super premier one, here's that guy that fills your other niches, and
It's
then
usually a warp. It's usually a warp.
sample Ukomons to taste.
Very
Deep fake
funny
card.
card's hilarious.
Like, he's so fucking random.
I mean, he's alright.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Is like this literally is just here. Like the text art is kind of relevant, but really he's just a purple 3 that evolves over green. I think he's the only purple 3 that evolves over green that isn't the Argomon.
I was busting up. Somebody showed me a the Tokomon there revealed in 19, and it's like if you've got another guy getting 2K, and I was like, oh, that's the green egg you play with with purple Argomon. And it lets you use this to make a really big Argomon to swing over all the stuff you stun. I was like, that's kind of stupid.
The thing is, the Argo doesn't
I love
stun
paying
anything.
1 for my
We're not
Argo over
talking
Argo.
about Argomon. But no, you're not paying that Argomon.
You're not playing. You wouldn't play the.
You're playing the old level 3 and the Goblin.
No, not the green vanilla one. The fucking. I'm saying like if you're playing the Tokomon, it means that you're not playing what's his name? You're paying 1 for the BT17 Argo.
Yeah, you're not.
Like,
they weren't playing.
You need the name.
You just don't play it.
Yeah, they weren't playing it. There
That's
were maybe
insane.
like 1 or
You need
2
the
copies.
names.
Anyway. I mean,
Either way, I don't want to.
Anyway, we weren't supposed to talk about Argomon.
I hate Argomon. Fuck Argomon. I'm a host.
Yeah,
Hate Argomon.
we said this last episode, and Terry gave a very sagely nod to it. But like this is the trade-off with global ban lists: is that like obviously the ban list. I would rather we have the ban list at the same time as everybody else, but also like it puts us in like a half-baked fake format.
Yes.
Because the ban list is not for BT17, the ban list is for BT18. And
you could
in
argue that
BT,
the ban list is for EX7.
yeah, I'll give you that. I was going to say like EX7, like now that I've seen like how because we're coming up right on the end of BT18 now, and like GAO is finishing and everything. Like the clear winner are the Frontiers decks. Like more of them occupy like high placing niches than any other like set in that, which you'd hope for. Like you'd hope that the pushed archetypes get their toys and do well. But the ban list does a lot to sort of like bring things in line with those decks. So like in that format, it's like, Imperial is, like Harry said, it's just a blue deck that has everything. But like it also has like genuine issues in BT18 format, because it's like there are things that counter partition, there are things that counter DNA decks. Like
honestly, the fact that you can only suspend 1, like Dragon Mode suspends 1 Tamer is like
not enough against.
I can't believe that's actually a problem. Where it's like there's 2 Takuya Kojis looking at you, and it's like, yeah, bro, fucking pick one. The other one's going face.
Have you guys watched like the card pro tag video where he shows off like the Magna Garuru deck?
Yeah. Magna Garuru files.
That shit's so cool.
The promo is really cool, man.
People were saying that some questionable lethal were fumbled in that video.
What, the lethal? Yeah. Clearly they wanted Garuru to win, right? Like the Lord Knight player.
I think it was funny. There's like, doesn't Paddy normally play Dark Knight instead of Pro Tags? They're like, why have they switched? And then also, why did he fumble lethal for 3 consecutive turns?
Wait a minute. I've just discovered.
Got a block, bro.
Hang on.
He needs to block. For his block strategy.
You don't understand. My defensive deck has to play defensively.
I think the funniest thing is also the fact that like.
Can the Magna Garuru promo unsuspend under Imperialdramon because if it turns into a Tamer? Because Imperialdramon only locks Digimon.
I guess because you unsuspend the Tamer.
Because it's put this on the top, then unsuspend. That's the funniest shit I've ever heard. We did it unsuspend under Pile.
It doesn't prevent the effect of Digimon unsuspending. It prevents Digimon from unsuspending.
Yeah.
But again, they printed cards. That's what I mean. So it's like the ban list feels a certain way right now, but it will not. Like in 5 weeks' time, Western players will be like, "Thank God for the ban list." Could you imagine Numemon?
Well, my thing is My thing is like, well, the reason why I brought up the video is because like when he resolved like light into darkness, thunder into cannon, or whatever the fuck it's called. It might be darkness into light. It's one of the two.
The signature 3-color options.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I get it now. This is like
good.
That's pretty good. And then when he was like, oh, I'll go into like fuck, what was it? Loemon? No, it wasn't. Was it? Yeah, he went like Loe into Rihi, and then no. What's the animal spirit?
Oh, Jaeger.
Oh, the fucking the one.
Kaiser Leo, thank you.
Yeah.
Andrew being a fucking nerd.
Hey, apologies for you not knowing your own season's cards.
Duftmon.
Yeah, your fake Frontier. Frontier's my favorite series, guys. Anyways, I don't know like any of the Digimon's names.
Wow, you're gonna say his name is fucking Vardramon or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Vitra?
Yeah, I know it was Vitra.
It's Vraritra. It's the worst
except
of consonants.
Dex Doru Gray, Burning Gray.
Except. Anyway, yeah, so he was like, oh, I'll evolve into this trash. He was like, evolving from trash, damn, that's just a straight up +1. I thought we were done doing that. And then I was like, oh, you know what? These purple hybrid cards, they'll probably be pretty
so good.
They'll be good later on.
I'm playing that shit at Nats. Catch me Utrecht.
I don't think you are.
I've learned nothing from Balmon.
Nah, because even if our collection lets me through, I got card market credit.
I think you're gonna be on Gallantmon. That's just me.
We'll see. Well, we won't have the cards by then.
But yeah, I'm basically just kind of like, well, 17 was definitely the format of all time.
I'm happy we didn't have any events during this format, like either half of it really, just because like the format was kind of both of them, and then also like again, I think 17 had so much like I wanted to try things instead of push things. Like obviously, I have been grinding black base Gora at like locals or whatever, just trying to see if I can make because like purple base solved, joke goes here, like I could just go take whatever what is his name, the purple base player. And, yeah, I could just go take his 50 from whichever format or whichever tournament he played and probably be fine.
And like Karova.
Yeah, you just take the scrambles out and find your 2 flex spots and go, good enough.
I mean,
play more castles.
Scramble, right? Or like, any of the other like results purple base has had. So it's like purple base feeling like more solved, if you will, was what led me to like go, all right, well, A, brand loyalty. And B, I wanted to like actually see it's like how much worse is black base than purple base in world without scrambles. It's not that much worse.
It's worse, but funny enough,
in a world where you can't be bounced by a paladin, where you can't be bounced by fighter mode is pretty cool. Just like literally looking at the fucking what's it called? Like promote Doraemon, Mindlink Kosuke from hand, and then going, I'm just gonna resolve trainings.
The Agara matchups peak too, right? Because it's just like constantly killing Kojis plus.
But like
that's still kind of rough.
It's
really?
Pretty rough.
Kill per turn. If they put 2 unblockable Kojis in front of you, you get.
Well, no, you don't. I mean, are you still?
The thing is, like,
I'm still on the guy, but the guy does not help as much as you'd think he does.
No, not your guy. I'm talking about like Ben's list that beat like 4 of them by just having the MirageGaogamon inherit.
Yes, but that is black.
Yeah, that list is like grown in a lab.
That is also worth trying.
That list is pretty sick.
Sure, my thing is like. The
Agaru player stops 2 Kojis a turn.
Yeah, the Agaru player, it's kind of just like if I never give you anything to like taunt, you just kind of have to make a line no matter what.
I mean, that's what the
MirageGaogamon
is go chanting Gallantmon.
Yeah, pretty peak.
But I mean, like I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of losing my mind with like Agaru because I think there's like a clear, much better way to play like the blue base, and people just are not.
That's because they lost Spark and don't want to work, so they're going back to the other blue deck where they don't have to work.
No, but even when we had Spark, right, people immediately like defaulted to the red base. I think the only reason people are even considering blue base now is because they don't have like the sparks from red base, like so.
I also think the other thing with Agaru is that like conceptually, even though it's kind of not popped off in our format, it will get more, it gets another full wave with like a really pushed level 4. That deck is going to have another chance to perform, and I think people will probably go back to blue base when those cards are more available. Yeah. Or it's more like a yellow blue deck at that point again.
Yeah, it's more yellow blue. I mean,
but it's, I suspect it might do well there.
I think it's just the deck has a weird ceiling I'm not being like, I'm a hybrid player, but like I just watch people play it. I'm like, brother, ooh, what are we doing? Why?
Okay, every hybrid deck. Oh, go ahead.
Even like when I started playing, like there's like a clear point where like I think there's like maybe like I want to say like three-ish like videos of me on like Andrew's channel, and there's like a clear like here's like when I was like fucking around with it, like, and here's like when I'm like I locked in, right? Like, and it was just like it was much more deliberate, like the plays that I was making. And I feel like some people just go, I'll just like evolve into my hybrid for like no reason, and I'll just like nag myself in hand, and I'm not really going to achieve anything, but I push the point of damage.
Makes a difference.
Speaking of like Agar, I think that we can pretty comfortably transition into a little segment. We kind of touched on it last week, how there's been a whole influx of like Yu-Gi-Oh players and players trying out different games. And Digimon has been a pretty popular one amongst Yu-Gi-Oh players. So with EX7 bringing in hopefully a bunch of people that are like, wow, you know, this webtoon is really cool, and they're doing a dedicated starter deck and EX set, and then they delayed it because damn, the hype train will just put a couple of extra stops on the way. We kind of have all started looking at, of the 6 or 7 depending on who you ask, or 8 if Jamie's in the call, deck colors that are available. If you want to try out each color, we kind of wanted to put together some decks that you should take a look at that will be relevant for EX7. Some of them are obviously not new to EX7. They are older decks that you'll have to go find the pieces for, but we kind of wanted to look at each color and go, hey, if you're new and you want to try this color, these are the decks you should look out for to try and play, or, you know, you might have to play against quite frequently. But yeah, I told the boys, bar Harry, our guest, about this like last week, and some of us have done the homework. I am not us, but I at least have the first deck ready. If gentlemen, you're happy, we can start off with the Bandai's chosen color. If you're coming from Yu-Gi-Oh and you want to play the winningest color of all time, blue is probably where you should end up. And we were talking about Gorrongamon. So yeah, Ancient Greymon. These two lists are two different looks at how a Garu can look. I am hitting all the wrong buttons. This one was the 10th place list at a French regional from a friend of the channel, Tamas Poi. Blue base, using some fun text like the Zoe to look into your security and pick up the yellow pieces, which is an interesting way of doing it. Sometimes your 4-obs do get stuck in security, so it's a cute little way of bringing things out. Digimon Emperor at Death X, Ruin Mode, all the staples. All the staples that are there for Digimon. But yeah, like, fellas, thoughts on blue base Ancient?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like, Thomas really cooked. There's some layers to the idea that like you can specialize in a wider hybrid toolbox. The last time hybrids were really relevant, we were like, what color is your hybrid deck? And in the case of blue, why are you not picking the right blue deck? And in this case, we've kind of caught up a little bit, where it's like there are some like splashes and points of contention where you can kind of lean one way or another. I personally will go ahead and say I did not pick Red's AncientGreymon as the red deck I think we should share. We could probably come back to it later, but that is because I think this deck is so much more a correct investment for a new player who wants to, like, if you're learning Digimon and you want to be like, I want to play something that appeals to me in a different kind of axis than just like make, stack, move guy forward. This is a good deck to do that with, and these cards have already proven that they will be continuously useful, probably from now until at least early 2025. The only catch is that there are some tricky cards to get a hold of in here. Obviously, like, the cost is one thing. Like, there are some sought after SRs. And this might come up a couple times depending on what decks we're going to talk about. I think Marcio and Harry might give you guys some real budget-friendly stuff, except for but promos are on the whole going to prove themselves to be difficult, because there are promos. Yeah, there are promos in all of these things. Death X, at least, not going to stay expensive for that much longer.
Yeah.
Reprints will help it down a little bit. But yeah, you know, I welcome our hybrid overlords. I have seen the future, and it rhymes with Sakuya and Koji.
You just
very splendid.
Yeah,
very
I mean,
splendid. Hey, look, it's Ancient Garuru, but the comment changed.
Yeah, so the red base was pretty popular. Some people decried it dead as soon as the ban list came through because they shot this little guy, but you know, Billy Walters. Also, associate of the show, showed up and came second at our winner case, then went over to go top 8 a French regional. The GOAT came through. Yeah, I just kind of I really liked the red-based version of this list. I just thought it was really interesting. We see really cool text like Purple Matte as a play extender.
Also triggers the level 4 on its own because you don't need the second piece. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, what more is there to say about AncientGreymon? If you're not aware, the deck basically just cheats its way into its level 6 boss monster over and over again, and using lingering effects to force your opponent to pick up their own security, whittles you down and kills you with a bunch of tamers.
Also, the Gigimon's really cool. You're not getting just immediately one-shot by Psychmon. Like, you can push a red rookie out, and you can pay 1 memory to delete the Psychmon before you do the rest of the combo.
I think about me and Marcio had a clip when we were talking about this set review for 17, and we were talking about, like, this is a pre-release monster card. I think it might just have been a monster card. I think Gigimon, like, has escaped its pre-release status. It's like already incrementally popping up
the lack of
again too.
Requirement on it is just like any of your rookies flex into a 1 memory, like 1 additional memory removal spell. It's a nice to have.
Exactly. Same with the Gorrongamon.
It's not even color requirement as well. So like Bokomon, who has done his God-given duty of going forward and hatching again, is just like, oh well, I'll pay 1 more. Fuck it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Bokomon, trade favorably, go.
That's good stuff.
Whoa!
You guys want to say anything else?
Upon you.
You guys want to? Oh, actually, I have one more thing before I pass the thing over to you guys. If you do not already know about BT7 Bokomon, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of him for the next 4 months. He has multiple tops in EX7. He has a significant number of tops in BT18, and is well positioned to continue doing so forward into 19. The card is the best searcher that you can play when you're not getting stopped by Ruin Mode. And it's probably the strongest searcher in all of Digimon, except the trade-off being that you had to play it. There was truly no you can't pay passive plays with it in the raising area. Kind of in a lot of decks it stopped mattering when they introduced things like Mother Shoto as an 8-card package. So
yeah,
there are some decks that really abuse this.
Pokemon a blocker. Or not Mother Shoto make Bokomon the blocker.
I have actually seen it done. It blocks a Lugamon.
I was kind of curious whether this Boko would kind of just get like it digs deeper than the new Bokomon, so I was kind of curious to see if red Bokomon being evolvable and trainingable would be enough to see BT7 Bokomon kind of lie by the wayside. But from the sounds of it, I mean, name Bokomon, pretty good.
The 1 cost reduction on your hybrid is a smaller number than the 2 cost reduction on your hybrid.
Well, the thing is, it's are you playing the Bokomon and Nemon with the correct color egg? Because otherwise, there's no point playing them. And so in the red egged based hybrid decks or yellow egged based hybrid decks, yes, they will see some play. The Nemon's actually pretty strong.
Yeah, the Nemon's sick.
But
the Nemon's sick. I think the Nemon can only really go in blue base because it's the version that tends to draw more consistently.
I didn't think it evolved over blue.
No, it doesn't. But what I mean is, for you to get value out of the Nemon, you need to have a flow of tamers going.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the red base, Nemon feels like you're just negging your hand too quickly. Whereas in the blue base, it's much easier to replenish. Also, the Nemon helps you deliberately neg your hand. So then your when attacking triggers put you in the thresholds to allow you to draw cards. Oh, sorry, this Nemon. I thought.
Yeah, we're talking about the yellow one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about red Nemon.
No, this one sees some pretty significant play with the yellow Koji lists, the lists that are Koji plus Koichi.
The yellow one. That's for the Magna deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nemon goes in with that. It also does see occasional success in just a Garu list.
1/2 gets Nemon, 1/2 gets Bokomon.
Yep. So it's cool. They did a good job with that.
All right. Yeah, that was my contribution to this.
Do we want to start with starter decks, or shall I give you guys a little bit longer to think about it? Because I have a couple suggestions.
I mean,
on the list, I can just talk about Sangre.
I'll go ahead and start us with a list then. Let me pop it in the pod chat. So I've talked about this once on the show already. I'm going to be sharing today a deck that I think is 2 things. I think it has occasionally seen success and also sees future proofing. This is D-Brigade or D-Police. If you are a player from a Yu-Gi-Oh, you're going to enjoy the idea of using your basically infinite fodder goobers as resources to build a big boss monster pile. And this deck is a great way to use generic cool splash engines. But additionally, this is a fan-beloved archetype. It has seen random sporadic waves over the last couple of years. and the most recent couple waves have been very powerful. And again, this deck has actually seen some tops. Things that we're not going to have that you'll see in this kind of list are the promo scrambles, which we will not be receiving until December, which do actually make a pretty big dent in terms of its like reasonable, like tenacious, never-ending game plan of Assault. But my personal opinion is that like the expensive cards in this are not super expensive. It's a good investment as a deck, and if you like the idea of like kind of a really like dude economy heavy deck building strategy, this is a fun deck to do. And it again like tops and wins occasionally in Japan.
The only caveat, of course, is for specifically EX7, we won't have access to Shadow Seraphimon, so you'll have to find next best black.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple things like Gargo's really good. Vikemon is.
Vike's a great pick in this format.
Digivolve slot, you've got Vike.
But yeah, so I'm happy to go through this archetype. So the idea with D-Brigade is that if you aren't familiar with the Digimon ethos,
backup plan.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I've seen Johnny win boards with Hard Play Brigade. But Missimon.
So your only form of removal is Digivolve, right? Yeah. What do you do about this? Oh shit.
Yep. So I'll give you kind of the crash course. So the D-Brigade is essentially like Digimon's answer to like the Stormtroopers, and they just kind of go in infinitely and die, and they're somewhat ineffective idiots. And then like the larger, more imposing units are like stronger, scarier monsters. And the deck received a couple waves of support over the years. A lot of them were like generic toolbox like black cards about like if you've got another guy gain DP, if you've got more names do different things. Like it was all very like based on the tag D-Brigade. And then come BT14, they released a specific Digi-Egg called Missimon. And Missimon basically changes the entire game plan of the deck. The idea went from like, this is just like dude swarm to Missimon basically turns the deck into a like resource management game also while you build a board. So it is when attacking, stack the top 3 of your deck with cards from your trash that contain the tag D-Brigade or Digi-Police. And then for each one, when you do this, you gain the 2K. So the idea is, in combination with using this to recycle your pieces so that your dude econ doesn't fall apart, you also have cards that mill your top cards and can play them for free. So it's a fun sequencing puzzle in a lot of cases. It has versatility in its win conditions. It can go wide. It can go like big checks with like effects like Alliance. It isn't necessarily like a super linear like aggro deck in the sense that like a lot of the like traditionally good aggro decks have been in Digimon. So this is my pick. It has nice niches too. There are a couple standout cards. We've people in the chat talking about Argomon. He is worth the hype. He is that good. It just spawns dudes for free and gives you really powerful inherits. But the most recent addition that everyone was like, whoa, is the Sealtramon, becomes unblockable and gives something rush. So like more niches that like black does not typically get a ton of. So if you've been looking for a new investment into Digimon, you've been wanting to learn a little bit more about like stuff that you'd feel like will probably stick around, good bang for your buck, this is a good deck to do it with. And it's proven that when we get the cards we're missing, it'll be even better. So
all right.
Shout outs to D-Brigade.
We've done a blue, we've done a black. Fellas. Marcio, you got one?
I can provide you like, I'm not gonna provide anything like EX7 because like I'm not comfortable just giving people lists. So I think I have posted it in the chat. I posted a picture.
If you see it. Yeah, fantastic pick.
So
Terriermon tie, baby.
So there's like a few different ways to build Terriermon. I think like the most fun bang for your buck, like I'm working towards a game plan, is like the biomerge package, but that's also because I'm a personal believer in it. The deck is like it's an aggressive strategy. It like clears as much as it like needs to clear. It basically doesn't really lose to wide. Like anything that wants to go like super wide or whatever, like you immediately get rid of it, and then like you just focus on like picking apart tall stacks. The deck is like super easy to pick up in terms of like you need maybe like 2 secrets from one of the sets, and they're not that expensive.
It's also it's noticeably the cheaper of the secrets.
Yes, and also you just pick up some Star decks, and then like, you know, you're kind of chilling. I'll fight Jumbo on Shine. Shine is not a good starter deck, like for new players. Like, yeah, the playstyle's easy, but that deck just does not draw cards. like
it's a good investment though. It gets lots of waves.
It's fine, but yeah. So with Rapidmon, it's like Green's game plan to its like purest form. You're suspending things and then you're punching over them. It does have the benefit of like borrowing tricks from another color between like the DP minusing
from two of them.
Yes. First you have like the DP minusing from the yellow cards, and then like from the black cards you have like the Digivolve and the protection. You have a good boss monster. You have like ways to be like really memory efficient. You have some of the best like delay cards in the game. Ton of fun. Like you could consider this as like Digimon's equivalent to like a sprite deck, or like, you know, those kinds of decks that like will always be like pretty good. It's kind of up to the player. Some people will choose to take this and see how much they can push it, but it's a deck that you can like flex into like how competitive you want to be with this deck. And it has like tons of tech options. Like for a while people ran a Cherubi package with like Cherubi and Lotmon and focused more on like the ability to have lingering DP minus, you know, domain expansion type beat. But you can also just like I built a version of the deck that scales a bit better. Like as the game progresses and you develop more tamers, you'll get more value between like the Willises and the Henrys. You have tons of like clever outs to certain solutions. And the deck, like I said, the deck is not that expensive, and it's like relatively consistent. Like you have tons of consistency between like the delay cards and like your rookies and just like your draw egg. The deck kind of like starts flowing, and it never really feels like you're missing anything. Like if you play against something that you couldn't beat, it was either because like, you know, I lost because I didn't really know the matchup, or like I lost because I'm like new to the deck or whatever. But eventually you'll find a solution for most problems. There are very little things.
You have like a deep enough like bag to dig in. Like obviously if your current 50 can't solve it, there's a lot of cards named Gargomon, Terriermon, or Rapidmon. Like, you know, you've got a big toolbox.
Yeah, it's just a pretty solid deck. Like it's fun to play. It functions, and like it's always a good time.
I think it's also one of the most interesting decks to watch someone like evolve as a player on. Like seeing different breakpoints, like where you have your Terriermons to free play your Willises, or like near free play them, or you swing an armor purge body to have it purge down, so you can then have the Terriermon play out a tamer, which then extends. Realizing that like HPD does not force you to evolve, so you can do like truly disgusting things like HPD biomerge because it works like that. Double Typhoon biomerge, gain rush, like crazy like things like that. Or just like watching a player just go from like make the line and then go, I lost, to like, okay, here's weird combo time. I have read these cards properly. Is really, really cool. The
other advantage is that the deck is getting more support. So if it's like a phenomenal investment because you're going to get like another full wave of support. And all those cards are pretty good in some capacity. So this is just a pretty good deck to pick up.
If like, your tamer shows up in the anime opening, you have a good shot at getting consistent support.
I always recommend everybody just like Terrier when the Sword X came out and it was like clear that the deck was going to get continuous support. I think like everybody should have like a Terrier deck at home just because you never know when you might need it, right?
Yeah. And like you said, like there really is not that much. Like even if you don't actually have a like brick and mortar store or like access to somewhere to get one online, which is a fringe scenario, like the singles for this are cheap and the Mega Gargo is getting reprinted, and it really is just the secret rare that will be difficult for you to get a hold of. There are very few decks that are this easy to get. Like it's not just that this deck is not expensive, it's that these cards are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like people have bulk of these cards.
Yes. Pretty much.
Very cool. Good call on Terriermon. Yeah, this deck's had what, 4 waves of support in a year? It's pretty sweet.
And funny enough, this does also stop us from going green new starter deck EX7 hotness into yellow new starter deck hotness.
I think I found something I'm willing to like, because obviously I don't have like, I have my list. My list is like.
Whoa, hold on. This idiot in the chat. Whoa, that list looks close to my list. Yeah, because it's like probably like a version of your list.
Hello, Thomas Tricks.
Yeah, the permit. If you see Terriermon footage on the channel, it's usually him.
I found this, which I'm going to call good enough. It's close to a bunch of the ideas that I was liking, so I'll just throw this at you.
Generally, Andrew, I find it's really helpful for you to use the search term puppet and just click yellow, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, Shumon is the thing that the meta was using as well. Either way, Sandri. I don't know how good it is, but it's a fuckload of fun, and also get to throw rats at people. So like I've done very brief testing of this in terms of just moving the cards, but you get to play very aggressively and you get to use DP minus, and DP minus is very strong. Someone probably has made a video detailing the absolute strength of DP minus and how it might be too good for the game, but parentheses, that's okay. I forgot what the video's called. Sorry. So the thing that Sandri gets to do is the Orissas are much like Zephigo and Marcia gets to that. The cards themselves don't need your tamer to function, but having it just like turns everything to 11. So it's like, because a lot of, Digimon plus their partner decks are like half of your text feels like it's missing, or in the case of Ulforce, all of your text feels like it's missing because it's on the tamer. Sandri can function without Orissa, but Orissa lets you do the crazy shit, because the two Orissas that are the most noteworthy are the starter deck one and the EX7 one, where EX7 is the if one of your puppets or tokens dies, float into a puppet or token. Float into a level 3 puppet from hand. So when your rats or even just your Shumons die by checking security, you get another one. You just get like another Shumon down, and like the Shumons are pretty efficient. And then the other one, and the one that pushes damage in ways that are fucking hysterical, is 4-cost Memset Orissa, where it's when you play a puppet or a token by effect, give a rush. Suspend, give a rush. So Sandri on her own, the new EX7 one, is this body that every turn she'll make another token, so she always can either have a second thing to rush to give rush, as well as her 6k shrink. But also the tokens are an endless like source of overclock, which means that she can push damage. You can use the new keyword and very aggressively push damage, even through a lot of things that would stop her from, like, a lot of the things that stop attacks in Digimon don't do so by preventing attacks. They do so by, either keeping something stuck sideways or preventing it from suspended. Sandramon literally works under Hexeblaumon and Quartz. She just keeps going. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that she gets to do, and this deck, the reason why I use this as my example list is, a lot of your stuff is like pretty generic. Like, you need to be playing puppets, but you don't need to be evolving into puppets. So this deck gets to use Cherubi Ace and ShineGreymon Burst Mode Ace in ways that I think are pretty good, where the promo Shumon is on play sec -1 to something, and it can't attack Digimon for the turn. Mm-hmm. First one, yeah, that guy. So
how accessible is this card?
It's a little expensive in different regions.
He might be the expensive.
The most expensive by a mile is Shushumon. If you don't own promo Shushumon, that card is drastically more expensive than the rest of this pack.
I don't own promo Shushumon.
Yeah,
she's only a 2 of them. You can easily just bump up the starter deck Shushu.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as Terriermon stuff, because like more people are clearly on main character Kool-Aid, but like I will say that like this probably trends towards like 22 to 25 euros a copy versus the Shumon being like 10 to 15.
Either way, but the appeal of these cards is that you can, like, they prevent your opponent from swinging either into the Shumon's -1 security. The Shushu is -1 security and can't attack Digimon for the turn. So it's like, and jamming, of course. And so they're like a pretty good like early aggression engine, but also they give you something to use your aces for. Obviously, Cherubi Ace, fucking insane card. Play whatever the hell you feel like, then shrink the board. Very strong because you're gonna get a bunch of free rats to work with. Alliance with the rats is like a decent source of damage, and then ShineGreymon is this card that I like that feels like it might as well be Sandrymon burst mode at times. You get to play any tamer down, shrink per number of tamers, which again, like Orissa is just this thing you'll want to be playing passively anyway. And then a lot of the Orissas are like advantage if you have tokens, but if you don't really have tokens you're going into, then you don't really do much with them. So just turn them sideways and make a 3-check idiot. Other thing as well is that Chapero's protection obviously means that it's very hard for them to remove the Sandrymon, which means that Shine gets to come down more. But also, it doesn't just protect puppets. It means that, like, before you start checking security, if you just play a random Shumon down, your Shine is now safe while checking 3 at a time. And the sec minus inherits mean that he's kind of swinging at like 18k at minimum. Like, it feels really strong. You can go Shine, play promo Orissa to then play the promo Shumon on your opponent's turn. Which then means that, if they're going for like, say it's Mirage deck, right? Like they're going for, million checks over the course of a bunch of swings. You just go Shine, and even if it doesn't kill them, you can just play Orissa, play Shu, sec -1.
One thing that I've said a couple of times when we've looked at these decks is that, like, when we're talking about new players' stuff, it's worth making sure your investment is good. And we are aware that there are going to be at least 2 more waves directly of Orissa plus Puppet Aggro support. Puppet Aggro being the name of her deck in fiction. So, if you are interested, you've liked the webcomic, this is a good way to spend the cash. Get your starter decks at your local store. Get your EX7 on shelves yesterday in Australia. Yeah, that's, I mean, good pick from H. I would preemptively yellow. The secret rare tricolor option is actually kind of expensive, but like Vortex Resonance is a funny one. It was expensive on release in EX7, dipped a good bit, and then has picked up tremendously on the hype for EX8. So if you are interested in a deck like this, it's
good. But like if you're playing on the budget, you can very easily turn this. Yeah, you can very easily. There's only 2 trainings in here. You could very easily turn this into 2 more trainings or a trait. Like if you want to do this with literally just like 2 starter decks and like a couple cards from the new set, you could very easily do like 2 training, 2 boost.
Yeah.
And also scrambles there have to go, but like
Wonder Stomp.
Wonder Stomp can go in where the scrambles are as well. There's a bunch of ways you can take this deck. Like I have my personal list I could show, but like it's right now kind of
is Wonder Stomp an EX card or is it a star deck?
EX7.
EX.
Even like Noble Family Art.
Structure decks have the structure decks have the options that are the level 6s.
The level 6s and the 3s and
has the rookies.
Okay.
Yeah, Promo Arisa does see some play. It has occasionally, like, when this deck does manage to find its way into tops, one of the tools this deck has is that, like H mentioned, Promo Arisa to play a Shumon on the opponent's turn with a Shine is a real line. But, like, also just generically having access to more puppets means your stuff is stronger.
It's also when you evolve, gain a memory, not when you evolve, reduce the cost, which means that the Shumon that evolves for 1 less from the EX set can sometimes just evolve and Hammer Spark.
Yeah.
Which is very funny.
There's like definitely like
there's room for experimentation with this deck. It doesn't have like a bunch of like it doesn't have like a bunch of like real tournament results. So there's definitely a bunch of ways you can take this. This is just like I think that I think ShineGreymon burst mode is very good in this deck, and I think that one of your tamers is far more proactive when played off of a Shine, and I would rather play that one.
Yeah. Very real.
All right. So what we got? Purple and red left.
Purple's messed up, man. I don't really want to recommend, and I have one purple deck I think is a good investment based on the parameters we've set out today, but I don't necessarily think it's the best new player deck, but I think it will basically give you cards that will always, at least some of them, will always be good. The purple deck I think most people should like pick up at the moment is Demon Lords. I think it is a deck that will be good for a long time. It is a deck that will be supported, definitely more pushed than almost anything else. But like lists vary so much, and like just in terms of like what there is that you get in
2 copies of the Beals structure at this point.
Beelzemon's great, but like Beelzemon has harder counters than Demon Lords.
That is true, but I also think Demon Lords. Someone if you want to get into purple, start with Demon Lords is like so crack open a fuckload of EX6.
Well, within the context of everyone should be starting playing Digimon on a simulator of some kind to see what they enjoy. I don't think you should be spending. If we're having to tell people to not spend money to try something when they don't have to, I don't necessarily know that this is the podcast.
There between like when Marcio recommended Terriermon, obviously Rapid X is very good, but like you can just bump up some of your other pieces if you don't want to splurge on a Rapid X, even though it's not that much. But like what's it called? Like Beals is like 2 structured X, and you have a functional strategy out there, and then if you just want to, like obviously it's a little bit worse with some of the hits, but like Beals also then fills in that thing we were talking about, how like you want to play Digimon and you want to like kind of play it casually with a deck that will be towed along for a little while. Come hang out with someone who's in the show, and Beals was in I show.
And he double dips too. He's also part of the pushed 7 great Demon Lords who have had at least a card every other set for a year now. So I think little column A, little column B, where my point is mostly that you need to play a deck that will be well supported. Like I'm not going to in good conscience
is that you do end up with cards that go into a bunch of other, like you can pick a Demon Lord and then
I was actually going to say our purple should just be any Demon Lord, because like they either have their X antibody right now and it's crazy, or they are waiting on the X antibody and it will be crazy.
Barbamon sweep!
I am pretty hyped.
Yeah, you should wait for Barbamon to actually get its X antibody before you like.
Nah, trust it. Buy your Barbamon. Fuck, Marcio. What is the thing you always do? Market watch, Marcio. Buy your Barbamons now. It's a good investment. Alt-art Barbamon to the moon.
I'm not watching any market for Barbamon.
But any of the Demon Lords, Beelzemon or Levia is probably the easiest picks outside of just if you want to try playing Mega Zoo and not learn any Digimon fundamentals at all.
I think we're talking about cards and decks to pick up and to own. I think with regards to like new players, I want to shout out somebody I don't think we've ever plugged them on the show. Spidey plays TCG, does a lot of like card game intro stuff to like new people who are just like welcome to the card game space. They've done stuff for more than just Digimon, I believe. But they did a good one recently where they were like inviting people to just share like genuinely like the advice that helped them when they were a D0 Digimon player. And it was like, get to grips with resource systems. Like understand, like, you know, the reason people tell you to play everything like, you know, 4 or 5 times is so that you know that when you give your opponent 3 memory, what do they do with 3 memory? And so I saw a comment in here about like Devas. I saw a comment in here about Devas being a good starter deck. I don't agree. I think the problem with picking up Devas and not knowing what happens when you give somebody 7 is that you will be punished for giving somebody 7. The difference is you have to know what happens when you give somebody 7.
That can be trusted.
So yeah, so there but that's a separate that's a separate discussion, I think, than just like what you should be buying, what should be playing.
Red?
Yeah, red's like, I mean, AncientGreymon feels like the obvious pickup. Red hybrid stands to stay pretty good for quite a long time. Gallant's pretty good. It's got a black egg.
Yeah,
I would say like Gallant. You know, we're becoming. I feel like Gallant should just be the fucking like podcast mascot at this point because we're just like 3 people
Misplay
that
for Gallant.
That video,
I call it Misplay for Gallant. We don't have to change the logo. We don't have to change the abbreviation.
True.
People, and it's never me.
About the video.
It did pretty good.
Yeah, it took a while to like get going, but like now that obviously it's been public for a couple of days, it's like people have started doing the think pieces on Gallantmon, and all of you are incredibly valid. I think the person that noted
Please
that
continue
we have
commenting your opinion and your think pieces on Gallantmon because we're reading them.
I am, because I have nothing better to do. But like I
just love pretending that I'm forcing interaction on your channel. Where did you get this Doraemon?
My favorite comment thing in the whole thing is the one person that went, yeah, Gallantmon's second color should be yellow because purple is for Chaos and Megidramon. I'm like, real. The Digimon balance team would do that.
Orange Growlmon, die.
No, like the balance team at Bandai would go like, I mean, well, technically, yeah, purple actually
I fucking love Gallant discourse because it really is like you can see like. I will do my quick thing on Gallant that I always say, where it's like if you look at Gallant and you look at Beals, they feel like they were designed in the opposite way, where Beals' EX2 stuff doesn't really have a win condition, but some of the cards in there were were unbelievable. Slinger and EX2 Imp, right? But they didn't have a win condition yet. The Bealsmon, and the Beals. Like, there was an insane engine, but it was like, what do we do with this? Sec +4 Beals blast mode. My deck is empty. I'm decking out, and I have a suspended body.
They had to make sure he lost to they had to make sure he lost to D-Brigade. Like
exactly. So then you go look at Gallantmon. It's like you look at EX2 Crimson mode and now BT17 Crimson mode. And you go, okay, I immediately understand the vision. There are a few cards in the game that read, the game is over. GG's, shake my hand. As much as a Crimson mode that is going to burn and then blitz. But the Gallantmon engine does not get to that position easily. So with Beals, they were like, oh, it's fucking easy. We should give them a win condition. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, the engine was too good. And with Gallant, it's the exact opposite problem where they're staring at Crimson mode, both of them now going, we can't do this again. So they keep giving you cards that are admittedly pretty good, but don't read put 30 in your opponent's or your own trash.
I don't know.
GG, shaking my hand. Let's burn for game.
Yeah,
I agree with Marcio. Gallantmon's a good pickup. It's the cards are readily accessible. They're not exceptionally expensive.
Especially if you play Minrek. There's been like a million printings.
Yeah, Secret Gallant is kind of pricey.
But like the thing with Secret Gallant is like he's like a nice to have, but you can win games without it, right?
You really do need 1 or 2. Like,
yeah, but like
truly don't have ways. No, like it is your most consistent removal.
I feel like every deck we've put out has access to it. Like it's like, hey, yeah, you will need to spend for the secret. Like,
I have a list with no secrets.
Yeah, which
your list has promos, dumbass.
Yeah, your list was more expensive than the Terrier with secrets. But if we're recommending Terriermon, I'm 100%. Yeah, you guys are just like, it's fine. I don't know why.
I opened a lot.
I don't know why I'm on the show. Know what the point of me being here?
No, because like in my head, when you said it's expensive, I was like, oh, it's like a $20 secret.
No,
like most secrets. It's like
$30. I say it every week.
be honest,
I
I
mean,
forget that you look at the Minreg Gallantmon. When I think of a Gallantmon and I go short by versions, I look for version 5 and go, how heinous is this card? What is my man trying to fight people on the
BT13
Facebook
Gallant's alt
market
is
for?
obviously very cool because it's the Royal Knight one, but the fucking BT13 Gallant GG Shake My Hand is so fucking...
It's getting another one soon. It's getting another.
Yeah.
I know.
I think
That'll be hype.
But the
That
thing
and
is, like,
Goragora. Whew.
the secret
Oh,
Gallant
God.
is like, okay, I'm going to take this deck to like events. For you to piss around with Gallant against like somebody who's like starting to play the game and just like to get a feel for like the color.
Yeah, go get a demo deck and pick up some non-foil variants of existing good cards, and you'll be fine.
That's not a good card.
We haven't
That
done that yet,
one
where
is
we were
not a
like,
good
yeah,
card.
my red deck I recommend you is Gallant, my green deck I recommend you is Terriermon, my yellow deck I recommend you is Redacted, my purple deck I recommend you is Beelzemon, and then you should
Almost like-
Justimon to the moon!
Yeah,
You know why
exclusive.
you know why the tamer decks are so well balanced from that season of the show? There's no fucking
They had
blue
a whole
deck.
set to start. They all got immediately.
No, there's
There's
just no fucking blue deck that they bother balancing.
They gave
That
us
is true.
Leomon
Just the
and
toxic
Marine
color
Anza.
doesn't show up.
I mean, you could recommend Sakuyamon, but I think like
No,
Sakuyamon.
I don't. I would not
No,
recommend
I would
Sukuimon.
not.
You're not
No,
actually
it's a little
learn-
too-
like
You need-
the reason
you
why I
need
recommend
stuff.
Sandry is that Sandry.
It's waiting.
Sandry. It's not even just that though. It's like Sakuyamon is Sakuyamon. It just happens to be in yellow, right? That's how it
Yeah.
like it does DP minus, which is the yellow thing it does. But it's like Sandrymon is doing things that yellow has already done previously. She is DP minus and lots of tokens and sorry, not it wasn't tokens, but it was. I mean, Sandrymon is Lord Knight too.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't going to say it. You can
She's
tell
the
us
spiritual
yourself.
successor to Lord Knight too. Yeah, but Marcel, mine costs 4.
She's Lord
But
Knight.
you also have
This one-
protection.
Lord Knight could have protection, just evolve it over Chaperone. Wait,
Ugh,
No, we're not doing this.
not real. You would never be better than just playing Chaperone.
I hear what you're saying, but
No,
Playing
stop.
Sandro.
Anyway,
he's any level 3. You can still play a Shumon.
Do we
Yeah,
want to
for
highlight
sure.
a second blue deck? Otherwise, I have Mirage and Galaxy to talk about.
I thought we were
I
gonna
wouldn't.
try to shell EX7 for Bandai and go. Have you read Hexeblau? He's good.
I don't think Ice Snow is not good enough until we know what the rest of EX8 looks like.
But Himbert.
I think Ice Snow as an archetype is worth your money because individually the strong cards that exist in that deck right now
Isn't the
are
only
quite
SR
good.
Hexeblau?
Also the Tommy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot Kumon's an SR, isn't he?
No, only
No, do not let-
Kaku, I believe.
What are some of
Oh,
the
sorry,
other-
Kumamon
No way Cory
BT18
Kaku's
is.
an SR.
I know, BT18 Kumamon is. You're correct. Sorry.
Ancient
Yeah.
Garuru, I would say, is a like decent
Oh, we did
beginner
it
deck.
already.
Bro, we started with
We
that.
already we covered 2 Ancient Guru.
Oh, okay. I
part of
thought we
the
didn't do
section.
blue, but I was like, wait, we
No,
did.
we've
blue.
done. We're doing
Yeah,
2
we
of each
started
color.
on
I
blue.
thought was the point.
I mean, I was gonna say that or Imperial.
Okay,
Oh
yes,
yeah, just play
okay.
Imperial.
Yeah, just play Imperial.
Yeah, just play
I think we
Imperial.
can stop
I don't-
recommending
I
things.
literally fucking yeah, bro. Just play Imperial.
Just play Imperial. Like the
Like
deck.
whatever, fucking just play Imperial.
The deck
Even
is
if they hit it, it's gonna get more stuff later to make up for it being hit. Just play Imperial. Just pick a
The
top
deck-
tier.
The deck is like insanely fun. It's super broken. You play around everything. It's great pickup. Pick up Imperial, guys.
Just
Also,
play
there's no annoying secret rares. There's no annoying promos. Like, sure, you're gonna like if you're planning on picking up Imperial, you're gonna spend some money on the Imperialdramons. But goddamn, like that card will feel great.
That card is gonna.
Hey,
Also, I don't think Pile's ever the hit they're gonna do. Like, I think
No.
Imperialdramon is safe,
Yeah.
which is fucking absurd to say, but Imperialdramon is
It'll be
safe.
the falls.
Andrew, what were you saying?
I was gonna say at some point when Bandai's like, damn, bro, we need to print some new regional thing. What if we do like the 5s of every set as a regional thing, and they print Partition Pyldramon in like
like the
easily
2022
accessible?
ones?
Yeah. Then the
That'd be tight.
Pyldramons become £10 and everyone can win a regional.
Yeah.
Everyone can cook.
Um,
Everyone can go blue on. Everyone can exceed summon, right?
I could recommend Zafagamon.
I mean,
But,
like,
like,
if we're going
it's
with
gonna
the
get
chill
support.
EX7, right?
Yeah, my thing is like I don't have a list for people, and like also
No, I think it's fine if we speedrun the second decks because we still have to argue
Yeah.
about how good these
We're not
decks
showing Imperial. It's Imperial. Go find a top it has. It has a million of them. Pick
I'll
your favorites.
recommend Imperial
Remember,
as my
4
green deck.
Daiken, 4 Pyldramon, and 4 of the BT12 4s. The rest of it, fucking Godspeed, good luck.
So what we got the Zafaga. Well, we'll look at some of the Zafaga like pieces in isolation, but we're kind of just gonna start like speed running the rest of them. Tom,
If
what
you
other
type-
colors did you have?
So the thing with like Zafagamon is like, the starter deck has like a bunch of playable cards that you'll probably need, like between the starter deck one, the Shoto, Annoy,
level 5.
the 3, 4, 5. Like they're all like incredibly playable cards.
Searcher, right?
Yes, Searcher, Secret from Security, or sorry, SR Power of Security 4, and then
I need you to let me
5.
down gently. Does Muchomon make the cut?
Muchomon makes the cut.
Yeah, he's really
Let's
good.
fucking yeah!
He's a piercing inherit in this deck, dude. He's great.
Also
Even
He's also the
if
funniest version of Terriermon expert you've ever read in your entire life.
if he didn't have text, being a bird with a piercing inherit would actually make him considerable in this deck.
The Muchomon does a lot of things for the deck, but like
You probably still want some promo taros, though. I'm not gonna hold you guys.
yes. So the main reason why I'm not recommending tarot promos is like the tarot promo is like kind of insane for what it does, and you can't really replace it. Like you can, but you shouldn't to get the most like competitive version. However, if you absolutely have to, you can play it without it. But the EX7 support is all like really, really amazing. Like the cards really like get the deck going. And it's a deck that like it's effectively like the new pro tag deck. So
it's getting 2 more waves.
Did we get these promos in the UK? Like at all?
Yeah, they've been made available once in Europe, and then supposedly will be, if they're available in Dallas this weekend, they will likely be available in Utrecht.
Okay.
They're definitely available in Dallas. I spent my money on the promo just because like I kind of wanted.
I was gonna say I am now on card market while we're.
Marcio and I have talked about this a couple times as well. But if you guys don't know, the Digivice boxes. So there are alt arts, yes, and those alts are available in different places. But there are actually going to be another full set of alts for all of the promo cards down the line. We do not have a release date yet, but in the Eastern format, when the Digivice deck boxes, the D storages get released IRL, they come with each of the promos with new alts. Yeah. They are in Dallas, yeah. So look out, go to Cardfest.
They will be available more in different arts, so it don't feel like you're missing out too much. It's just more if you're like, for some fucking reason, you want to like hyper optimize this deck to make it like play it like, you know, in the next month or so. Then
before we get scrambles.
Before we get scrambles. Why would you do that?
I was gonna say, these are also 2 unbelievable scramble decks.
So
yeah. Being at the mercy of hoping that your locals has actually updated their price support is
well, I don't believe these are price support locals.
No, but it's just like a
prizes.
general.
Like,
it's just like a general thing. Like some people don't get access to these things. It's pain.
Yeah, so it's a kicker.
But yeah. All right. We're trying to do a tier list or what?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do something before the tier list?
Have we done 2 for every color? What's our second yellow deck? Is there a second yellow deck?
Can I go? Yeah, just throw you a crazy bone here. It should be Shakamon because it's tight.
No.
That deck is sick. That deck is butt rock on Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
It requires an acquired taste.
No, I think it is kind of like
it's 3 Great Angels because like despite it being currently nerfed,
I was gonna say
the cards are good investments. And
it's either 3 Great Angels or it's Shine. Like I know Marcio said he doesn't want to
Shine's a good
players, but like it's like buy your ShineGreymon cards.
Sure,
Mr. Damon will be back, and he will go.
Harry's making good financial suggestions to people who might see this clip out of context, so I just want to reiterate for the viewing audience.
Yes, I was telling you to play yellow decks off of my vibes. I'd be telling you to play fucking Armadillo, baby.
Yeah. But it just occurs to me that the 3 of you got that I was making a joke when I said it was Butt Rock and Tony Hawk. But like for the YouTube audience, I don't actually think Shakamon is the thing you give your friend. You save up for your playset of Patamons, and you tell your friend, hey, Angels get a new card roughly every 4 months. Here you go. And that's how you'll enjoy it. So Angels is to yellow what red dragons and dinosaurs are to red. So like they will always get new toys. They just always do.
Yeah.
Is that every color twice now then?
Black,
blue,
we kind of said
green.
Oh, we haven't said a second black deck. This is not a bit. Basically pick Caramon or Dorumon and then go hang out with them.
Because they're
one of them will get if you've done D-Brigade, then the other black deck to pick is either Dorumon or Caramon, and then you just hang out with whichever one of those 2 you like more.
Yep. I will say, I mean, if your guys are on scrambles, they're probably good picks for decks.
Yeah.
Gabumon is a good blue pick, just conceptually as well. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think Diaboro is like a ton of fun.
Diaboromon, like the first time you get to go, wait, BT1 Curry, which set is the Currysar from, the one that gains memory? The first time you get to explain to someone that it's not once per turn is like a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
It might have a few more like annoying cards to pick up, but the deck is also like, oh, you realize that like you want to play more black deck.
It's actually the only.
That deck's, I guarantee you it'll get a starter deck one day.
The only side set card it has is exactly Diaboromon Ace and the Decoy Kurrisara, but you can definitely play without Decoy Kurrisara. So like the only thing you'd be looking for is the Ace, and even then he's like a 3 of at most. You could definitely get away with 2 and play. There's a bunch of Diaboromons. Pick one that you like the artwork on. Do you want to play the clock? I wouldn't recommend it, but it's funny. TikTok. Wrong.
Some good stuff, some chill vibes. Those are good picks. Good job, guys. I think we've successfully covered a deck of every color. Basically, if you liked the seasons of the show, talk to your friends at locals who have talked to you about the Digimon card game. Pick things that are popular and get waves of support. And don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry about not having all the promos right away, because people will talk you through that in different forms of content on the internet.
And pick a guy from the show.
All right.
Or webcomic.
All right.
I can't wait.
Fearless time.
I can't wait for the chatters to just be like, this deck should be 1 higher, or this deck should be 1.
All right, Rust Tyrannomon, tier 0 hyper threat.
Wait, no, hold,
Andrew, I put it back on the bottom. There you go.
So the tier list that you're sharing right now, I think it was like a Jank tier list. I don't know if it has like everything that's relevant.
Well, Andrew has a folder of cards. I'm sure he can just click upload.
Yeah, if we're missing something, we can grab something.
The goal is for us to not get hung up on these for a long amount of time, and we actually move through.
Yeah, we're not going to argue about everything like we always do.
All right. No, don't even put things in the tier list if they're not relevant. Okay, we can start with Bond. I think like Bond is like
tier 2. It's cool.
It's like somewhat relevant in the sense of like it's playable, and
he's actively doing Trust Me Guys right now. Yeah, please put it.
Not even that. Also, change what the fuck are the, did you
tier 1, tier 1.5? Trust Me Guys gets DCGO clips and then Jank.
Okay, you made this tier list. Okay, I don't even think it's a Trust Me Guys. Fucking Argomon like strongest soldier. I'm like, I can't do it.
This is a clips deck. This is a deck where you'll be like, check this out as you go.
I was playing it on
Greymon, play Agumon, play
I was playing it on DCGO
Warp Bullet, Bond, like, and then you fucking
everybody plays it on DCGO.
Yeah, I was playing it on DCGO today. It's definitely this tier.
Yes. It has potential, but it's just...
Virus Imperial. No, it's better than Agumon by a lot.
But it still gets clips.
It's definitely a try.
I'm not recommending this deck. It had an Ishin 16, and
it's
it was
expensive, but it's actually better than that.
Isn't it? Also helps.
It was a good Valk deck. That's all. It was a good Valk deck in BT 16.
What about the new?
Are we gonna make fun of Jamie? Or are we gonna pretend that the Hinolink cards are?
Hinolink cards are better than just.
Sorry, I've just seen that she's next. Are we just gonna? You want to make a separate tier just to make fun of Jamie?
She's a DCGO clip chat. That's all it is.
It is actually. Yeah, it's basically just like.
If we have to put Virus Imperial in that list, that's where Hinolinks goes to.
Hinolinks gets clips because it's your opponent going game bug. Why can't play guy?
Hold on. So with Hinolinks, it's like you could maybe theoretically play it in Galaxy box.
Yeah, the Hino's really good in that deck.
Like if you really want to, you can, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not putting gold dragons on this list.
Don't bother doing dragons. They didn't get anything new. It's not worth it.
Machine.
Booty.
It's kind of a clips deck, but it's the deck that gets clipped because it gets paladin moded right now.
Yeah,
like in 5 months.
Thanks, fuck. Yeah, put it away. Don't even.
It is nominally better than Jank.
It's like dog water. That tier should be called dog water. Okay.
I'm always down to hate.
Doggy but funny, funny but doggy.
Yeah, funny but doggy, or dog water. That's where Machine goes.
Anyways, someone cut to the bit where Machine tops an EX7 event, and we have to look.
Is this?
Andrew, I'm sorry. I know. Can you just make another row where we put the things we're not ranking, because I'm actually having a hard time looking at what's coming up.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
wait, what the?
You clicked on the arrow.
Oh no, Andrew!
Meta manipulator.
Just add another. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to name it anything. I just need somewhere to put the bin. That's
bin trash.
No.
No. Yep. Okay.
Whoa, we didn't even talk about Numemon.
So
what is she?
So I'm gonna guess this is like Secon.
I'm looking at the list.
Anyone see the security icon or Chaos Degrade?
MirageGaogamon's not here.
Or MirageGaogamon. I don't see him, so I guess we can call her Secon.
Yeah, I guess she's Secon.
Sure,
Yeah.
Secon. Don't play Secon in fucking.
I don't think she's good. I think in a world where partition
Kinda
still
dog water.
exists, Secon is
You
dog
get
shit.
farmed. You get like giga farmed by Imperial.
you all
You
dog.
get
It is.
made into the DCG.
It is in of itself going to lose to every good deck in the game, but you will make the people who just want to play their own thing feel like fucking weirdos.
Is Bond trust me? Is Gabu Bond trust me, guys, or is it also just?
I would say
it's worse than Argomon right now for the first time in a while.
No.
Yeah, well, I believe that. I think ShineGreymon pushes that deck that much.
No, Bond is legit if you're playing like Agaru Bond. Like,
Agaru.
Yeah.
Okay, but I wouldn't have put that as the deck that it is. That was just the deck.
well, what are we using to represent Agaru Bond?
Like Agubond, right? Like we're not playing it with AncientGreymon, otherwise AncientGreymon would be the image.
Well, no, because the Bond decks are with those cards in mind.
Then then I actually.
That's what I was saying.
Then I think Agaru, Ancient Grey should be a tier higher then, because it's played. Whatever.
Trust me, guys. Trust me, guys.
You know,
They're
honestly,
not equal.
We'll put cards between them. That's fine. Right now, they can they can pose next to each other.
No, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, it's not there yet.
No,
give it a couple sets.
The thing with Bond, right?
Oh my
like,
god, put the red one lower so we can move on. I don't care.
I'm talking about like both decks. How do you want to just like not talk about them? That's not the point of the tier
You
list.
just moved through 9 decks without talking about them.
We did
but like,
do it on Bonds.
How do you want to do a tier list and not talk about the decks? You want to drag pictures all day? Is that what we're doing?
No, we just can't spend
Are we
forever
not
on the
talking
decks.
anymore?
Okay, we're not. Yeah. You go ahead, Marcia.
Okay. Well, it's like the Bond deck, even though it lost Spark, Louis,
Uko.
Yeah. Spark
Uko. No, did it play Uko? I don't think that deck ever played Uko.
The blue one did.
Yeah.
Really?
The prim deck profile talks about that. That's the only card he said they lost. That and the Louis.
Yeah.
Like, did he do a?
Yeah. He literally talks about those cards.
Did he do a profile for like BT17?
Yeah, he told us the exact
gonna
list
keep
he's
playing.
running this weekend.
Yeah.
Because
No
Prim
way.
doesn't give
Swear
a
down,
shit
he
about sharing. He's like, yo, here's my 50. If you can deal with it, deal with it. If not, hold that.
But even like Agaru, I would say like I don't think it's that bad. It's okay. But you could put it down if you really want to.
I'm a trust me, guys, on both.
It's mostly that Ancient Garuru is like insane, right? Like Ancient Garuru is super glue.
on here again. So what are we gonna do?
But Ancient Garuru on its own is like blue hybrid or Ancient Garuru hybrid.
Whereas like Bond is just...
Bond Agaru is like its own deck, right?
Yeah, like Bond is playing Agaru as a tech card, whereas like ancient.
It's not even tech, right? The way the Bond decks work in modern days, they have to play Promo Lobo and Aguni.
Yeah.
Levia. How high does Levia go this format?
It's like a little better than people give it credit for, but not much.
I think
it's reasonable. Yeah, I think it's better than Bond, but not good enough to win.
Just how bad can Biting Crush ever actually be?
I was gonna say security +2 carries most things.
That too.
But the thing is, like,
I wish we had the
right?
clip of the first time fucking Jambo read this card and went, "Why is it sec?"
But okay,
just walking around locals the entire day, going, "Why is it sec +2?"
Okay, but the thing with like Levia, despite like the 4 of us, even if it's just like me and Tom, because we like weird fish deck, most people are not going to play it.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people aren't going to play it. Is the deck good? Yes or no? If you choose to not play it,
representation matters a bit, right?
Yeah, representation.
Yeah, otherwise I would have fought for some of the things in
I think the problem that
DCGO.
Levia has is that all the Levia Andes are probably just playing Demon
Lords. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in theory, someone could.
I still think Levia is very good. I think the way it's interacting with opponents very good.
We've done this in a different way that we've done previous tier lists, where we say like will top locals. That's based on like players will play the deck. I think if we're gonna do it this way, it's purely on the quality of the cards, right?
Yeah, there too.
And then we don't have to worry about representation and like the will they won't they. Then we can be like, why did no one listen to us?
Pretty funny.
What were you whispering?
We can put Lord Knight into Nuh as well, right?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Also, fucking whatever his name is, get him out of here.
Get out of here.
We talking about dog water.
Yeah.
It's like, it's dog water.
It's crazy. They made 4 guys that play out by effect in EX4 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Jessmon is a clips deck. Jessmon is an absolutely fucking clips deck. The list has so many fake decks because we just didn't have time to make one ourselves, so we're just sorting through stuff. Which Apocalypse deck are we calling this?
I would say this is like Dark Masters.
That's like Dark Masters with Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I think it's a Trust Me Guys deck. Like Derek, every time Derek shows up with it, I'm just like, Really? You think it's better?
The problem is as well, the Apocalypse players
shit,
are
Shoto Kazuma exists. Yep, put it up one. Put it up one. Nope. Yep. All of these random dog water things having, all of these random dog water things having blocker matters.
Like I don't know. I watched the video and I tricked myself into thinking Dark Master Shoto is cool, so...
Tricked yourself? I hate you. You have the attention span of a literal canine.
No, I don't, because
welcome Marcio to the podcast back in February.
No, because I will, like, if there's like
episode 12 to show you. If
there's like a 40-minute guide of being like, okay, I have the sauce, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, this guy
we speedrun the I think Rosemon's in right now, right? Like, if you're gonna use the plans, do something better with them. Can we speedrun the Greymons? I actually don't think any of the
BWG is a full tier better than the other two because it pops Shoto decks.
Actually, I'm willing to give it that. I'm willing to put every War Greymon in and put Black War Greymon
Black War Greymon popping 2 Shoto Kazumas is legit real, and it attacks the unsuspended mother.
But, like, isn't the box version better because, like, you still have Raid War Greymon? Like, so Raid War Greymon is still an
Raid War Greymon's amazing. I'm not gonna knock it, but like the toolbox Raid War Greymon like pile doesn't necessarily play BT8 Black War Greymon, and that is why I think BWG is good right now, because you need low to the ground, not option based tamer deletion to really prosper in this format.
Yeah. So like the one with like Raid War Greymon and Black War Greymon.
They straight up don't play BT8 Black War
I was gonna say I feel like
their only tamer hate is Hades Force.
Yeah.
But the mixed deck, like the one with BT12 or Grey, like you still need BT12 or Greymon, even in Black War Greymon. Right?
Yeah, and as a one, like, so the difference between like BWG and a Greymon toolbox is like which one are you playing more of, right? So like in a War Greymon toolbox, you're playing like War Greymon BT12 and BWGX. Like those are your sixes. But you should be playing BT8 Black War Greymon to out the other stuff.
And victory.
Oh no! Wait, no! Hang on! The Greymon OTK is like, it's probably in dog water. Like, just like speaking purely off of like.
Sometimes you don't kill someone.
But I'm willing to have Marcio like put the toolbox in dog water too. I think it's fine. Like my point is that like if you've not played Greymon in a little while and your meta sheet friends tell you it loses to everything now. For one, make them, enjoy your Mother D-Reaper matchup and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like pure, like Black War Greymon with like the BTA. That I don't think
that deck folds like, those cards.
That card is like okay. Like even like Gallantmon. Like Gallantmon is like another like fantastic way to like.
Ooh, well, hang on. Gallantmon kind of sauced in Mother Control, so I don't want to spoil the sauce, but.
Melga, does it do anything right now? I think it's just kind of like a worse blue deck than the other.
I think it gets clips.
It does get clips. It is peak.
Sometimes you draw your Sec +1 inherit and your Garu X and your Gabu X, and you draw your whole deck.
Yeah. Also, purple-based Melga like quietly actually doing stuff is funny.
Yeah.
Is Gallant clips or dog water?
I think it's Trust Me Guys at the very lowest.
Okay, sure.
It is.
Yeah.
At the very lowest.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Like again,
at the very lowest.
And I will hit its clip consistently. It's between there.
Yeah, my personal opinion is that it's probably the gatekeeper to 1.5, like it always is.
Is Beal's clips or is Beal's top of clips?
No, Beal's has a terrible time against Imperial.
Oh shit.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, trash go back to deck.
Yeah, your Ayamako's getting stunned down is really annoying. You don't want your trash to go back to the bottom of the deck.
Oh, sure.
You have very few ways to actually interact with their
It's not Imperial, it's Paladin.
Yes, but also Partition.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a bad matchup. Beal's into Imperial.
They don't necessarily care about the partition because like you now have the Digivolve bills.
I have to keep looking at him, by the way.
Oh, the Digivolve bills is real. I guess.
I'm gonna put him in Trust Me then. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
No, it's just more like
I think he's top of clips because I think he is like definitively the Beals will probably hit its clip the most consistently. The question is whether or not it clips you before you get clipped.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the idea
Beals
of Gallant.
It will burn 3 and unsuspend with blast mode and kill you, but does it get to do that for long enough? Pog, UI elements.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the idea of like Beals.
Skip Numemon, like before we do the Numemon discussion.
Beals top of clips, Gallant bottom of Trust Me Guys. Just the two of them there, just like nah.
I think we're also past the point where like the one tricks can get carried by their decks, like the Alphamons, the Beals, the Shines, these decks that were like consistently like annoying fucking like turds in the bottom of your shoe, just being like, I have to consider this because there's some fucking idiot. I think like those decks are now past the point of like a player being able to like carry with them, in my opinion. Like Gallant, like on paper, can do like miracles, but you're not creating a miracle against like Imperial. That's just like not gonna happen, right?
I think Numemon gets clips.
You think the decks like fell off that badly?
I think the problem is that the things that you would play to not, if like, let's say you're not playing Imperial. For one, I think Imperial is pretty annoying for Nume at the moment, and for the other half, I think also the things that people play to not lose to Imperial still happen to beat Nume, and it's worse now that it doesn't float into level 6s as frequently.
I think people just like kind of shelved it. They're kind of done with it, right?
Yeah, they're also nobody enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, it's like
the thing that Numemon suffers from is the thing that I think Andrew and Terry said it best, where like routinely those two would always go. The problem with Numemon is that like everybody who's playing Numemon did not care about their slugs and teddy bears. They were literally there because it was the best thing. So every Numemon player I know is now going, "Oh, I loved Digimon Adventure Oto."
Yep.
But like objectively, like I don't know, because like. I guess Nume X.
Good. I just don't think you're gonna see it that. Like it's again.
Nume X going away.
I think the Ukomon hit is worse for it in some ways than the
Louis hit is the worst.
Oh, the Louis hit as well.
The Louis hit cripples
so much
that
of the free damage is gone.
No, my thing is like I think like Numemon still had the potential to like develop and like create like winning game positions early on, even with like 5 Ukos, right? Because like 5 Ukos is better than BT15 Nume.
Yeah,
like
I mean, the thing is that one of the they don't have as much free, like Terry was trying it obviously, and like Terry's list was still doing some Terryisms, but he was saying like you notice the lack of promo Uko, not for the less hatches or whatever.
It's the memory that
it's the memory it promote. It just means that like you act like, because again, Numemon works in multiples of 3, where it's like 3 for a Numemon, 3 for what's it called? 3 to evolve into a Monze. Like you notice that you're missing a memory when it's like 1 from Satsuki, you don't get the 1 from promo Louis, promo Uko, or promo Louis even.
Yeah, I guess like also going into like a new environment that like
sometimes you will still just open Nume X though, and then you're just gonna be looping it for the remainder of the game, and it's like nothing ever changed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, going into an environment where like half of the new decks in EX7 have like good early removal, like it probably doesn't really contribute to the deck's like ability to like win.
I mean, what's his name talked about it. Kuroba was like the collision, the SOC box answer to it is Doruga just starts fucking clearing slugs. Like Doruga literally just starts colliding with slugs.
And I guess like people just like kind of like they shelve the deck. Like there's no reason to play the deck.
The other thing is like in the context of like why would you bother maintaining something like that when you don't want to? Like if it isn't the deck that you're excited to play, like people won't do it. And also like even past all of that, like it now like it's not that they killed it's not just that they killed its unfair memory stuff. They also killed its ability to just not care. Like we have a player at our locals that like famously plays decks because he doesn't know what any old decks do, and he like always loses to like random one trick from BT10. Because he's just like, if it's a new stimulus, he'll lose to everything. And the thing Numemon did is it allowed you to never lose to the new random thing, because you could always just float into 6, make a ruin mode. And with the loss of a fallback plan of float into 6, gain 2 memory, make a ruin mode, the deck can't cheat its way out of sketchy, weird rogue matchups the way it used to.
Also,
so,
not
like,
everyone.
The fact that it's mortal,
like it was also one of the decks that wasn't East saying that like the Mother Shoto stuff like actually
kicks the crap out of this deck.
Like
kicks the crap out of this deck.
It's just a really hostile environment right now. So like
well, I mean, Numemon by its own design built its own hostile environment, and then Hexemon's D-Brigade is a clips deck until probably the format shakes it up for it a little bit. I think it's better, but Imperial being the best deck means Source Strip is bad for it. But next set, when Imperial starts to fall off a little bit, it'll be better. Although this is for EX7, so it is nominally better in EX7 than it is in BT17, because having unblockable dudes beats Mother Shoto. But also, if you just wait a little longer and you get to the hybrid format, you have a really good matchup into most of those decks. So stick to that one. D-Police Hisaru, I think it's like probably Dogwater or Clips.
Hey, she was talking about this.
It's fun. The clip by necessity is like Takumi funny mode.
It is better than the decks, but like that's because it has a card. That's because it has a card that has a set code that's double digits.
All right.
Yeah. The 2 Fenrirs I think are both 1.5s.
Oh, really? That's just a real shame. I tried to get that high up the list and I couldn't. That's crazy.
But you couldn't get there?
Yeah, that's really crazy. There's like some weird
Fenrir hater.
Some weird barrier here is like stopping me. That's crazy.
I would say that like Mika could maybe like be. I don't think like BT14 Luga like will ever see play again. I don't think anybody plays that deck. Like that deck as a whole just kind of like it plays into like
it loses
better.
It loses to too many things in ways that feel like you don't have a chance to do stuff. Whereas like can't you just resolve the entirety of a Fenrir chain and go into Takemikazuchi before Dragon Mode can trigger?
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
much.
Like you can just like obviously it'll still float and you're still under the Imperialdramon, but you can just get rid of it before it even has a chance to interact with you. Whereas like Fenrir will go, I'll evolve from trash, I'll play out these guys. Anything here, your opponent will go, yeah, fighter mode spin. Oh, by the way, you're still in the red, so your turn ends.
Yeah, that's like the thing with like Fenrir, is I think like it was sort
the
of
format's really hostile to 14 Fenrir, but Takemika at least can just like
I think Takemika could win a regional if somebody in the best of one format runs hot with it all day. But we are Lugomon haters.
Kills you dead in such a like, damn bro, that's crazy. You want to see the top 15 cards of my deck?
Yeah, sign the slip, bro. Thanks for that.
What I was gonna say about 14 Luga is that it was like uniquely like designed in a way where like it was perfect for like the BT14 to like BT16 like era of the game, where it was like, oh, the aces are not.
You don't have to spare my feelings. Just put him in there.
What, Alpha? No, he's not. Okay.
Dog water. Put him in dog water.
No, you can get clips with Alpha. You can definitely get clips with Alpha.
No, put Argomon down there. What the fuck are you doing with that?
I misclicked.
Fine, Alpha. I will give you that. Alpha's a clip deck. Sometimes you draw BT7 Dora Gray.
Alpha and Melga back together at last.
Allforce. I'd say like Allforce is like.
Where's Grandis? I miss him.
Yeah, I actually agree with Marcy. Allforce and Trust Me makes a lot of sense at the moment.
It's like
Allforce is the most Trust Me deck ever though, because every format Huang will get lied to by that one Allforce player he knows and be convinced the deck is crazy. No one else will get results. His one Allforce friend will, and he'll just be like, see?
Yeah, but like the deck also got the Vidramon.
The Vidramon is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Godfist, Tamer, Jambo, Tamer, Godfist. Get on top of this deck. I need it.
Mirage is better.
1.5.
Yeah. Mirage is better in EX7 than it is in BT17.
I would agree. Mostly because
cool
of
that having one backup. Cool that having one backup
and being unblockable.
Yeah, Hexeblaumon being unblockable to just like do something.
Like that part of why Imperial falls off so bad is because it needs to block a Shoto every turn to not lose to Mother Blocker, and Mirage don't care. It don't care.
Shine is either Trust Me Guys or the top of clips.
I think it's Trust Me Guys.
I think it's
Trust Me. It won a regional in 17.
I would.
Okay, in my mind, I keep forgetting that they're like. I know this is so stupid to say because I was advocating it as the yellow deck to buy because it just got new stuff. I literally cannot think of ShineGreymon as having cards newer than BT13 Burst Mode.
I know we just talked about like
my brain just doesn't process them. No,
I don't think we have to order Trust Me Guys, but I want the record to show that I think Shine is probably the gatekeeper to Trust Me Guys if it's not going to be allowed to be Gallantmon.
Yeah.
I think Allforce is like also pretty good. But
he's saying gatekeeper as bottom of Trust Me Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you want Shine to be like the lowest.
I don't think. I think Shine's better than Bond, but like.
Yeah, I'd say Shine's better than Bond.
We can order. Can we order this later? I do want to just, like try to plug and choose your decks because like there's a lot. It looks like we have a lot more to do than we do, but like there's a whole lot of nuh-uhs we're about to say here. Speaking of which, can we say nuh-uh?
Blooms and Clips probably like make a funny Quantum or Quartz.
Yeah, like Bloom's only gatekept by the existence of Dragon Mode. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like somebody brought up, we skip up Belphamon, and like Belphamon's not like super terrible, but like. Do we need to? No! Whoa!
No, you're in a world of fucking you're in a world of Imperial with You're not in Fortitude.
The cards are just good enough that they would at least constitute clips on their own.
Yes, like
you cannot source strip the X antibody.
It's like the deck only suffers like individually. The deck is crazy, but it suffers from like blue being good. Like Leomon is like insane as a deck. Like it just picks boards apart. It like deals a ton of damage. It just we've been playing blue meta for the past like year.
So Marcio, Leopard X is an unplayable deck, right? We don't have to. No one has to worry about it. Just put it in nuh-uh.
Think nothing about this placement. No, sir.
Do you want me to start leaking sauce or what, guys?
No,
just tell me what you want.
Put it ominously in the middle of Trust Me Guys, and we won't add anything else to the discussion.
Actually, you know what?
That is very appropriate. That is the most appropriate answer.
This is the most Trust Me Guys he's had me in a little bit. I trust you guys. As we were. Down we go.
This one is for me.
Brother.
I mean, I think it's in Trust Me Guys.
I knew. You know what? We'll put it right next to Leopard.
What about the other one, brother?
Oh, Galaxy.
It does have one.
They did the thing I don't like, where they used the photo. Don't play Grace Novamon. Don't play Grace Novamon.
Pretend that this is a Hexeblaumon.
Don't play Grace Novamon.
I know. Actually, you've got it too low. I think it's a tier 1 deck.
Deadass?
Yeah, I'm 100% dead ass. It will top 8 multiple regionals in this format.
All right. I know we're speedrunning, but give me the filibuster.
My fellow Americans.
You go.
My fellow Americans.
Cook away.
This deck has arrived at full degenerate status. It has nothing but degenerate tricks left. Because they've hit things that otherwise would have made it play the ways other decks did, where like when it used to be a toolbox deck, they just played Louis. Now it's doing stuff like playing Hinas, it's playing Thomases, it's playing turn skip Homers. There's no limit to what they won't do to make you sad, because red and blue are good colors and stealing level 6s is a strong effect. Hexeblaumon is tamer hate for this deck. Mirage is a floodgate, Apollomon is a belligerent number of checks, and Dianomon is counter source strip. It has everything it could ever want to play with these 2 colors. Its lethal clock is consistent, and in formats like best of 1, you will actually just get sacked by your opponent who managed to hide until turn 10 that they were playing 1/1 volcanic metallic, and you died because of that. This deck will consistently receive results.
Can we ever do a Boko about how EX5 is the worst set Digimon?
It used to be EX7.
The longer the game goes on for, the worse for the game EX5 and its ramifications get.
It used to be EX7. Me and you have this discussion.
You and me talking about BT. You mean BT7, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It used to be before
BT7 was the worst set Digimon ever had in terms of game health. It was just like every color, but
EX5 is the new BT7. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, Leomon only is not like a fucking stupid, like, dummy deck because it has actual counterplay in the sense of, like, a bounce.
What? Bro, don't even put Maruki in he can stay in the box.
Maruki goes on the tier list when we get good support.
Yeah,
I do appreciate.
Don't mind me. I'm just cleaning up. Just cleaning up some stuff.
You want Myotis higher, don't you? I saw that.
Yeah, Myotis is actually like not trust me, guys, but you farm clips.
You're right.
You do get to look at your phone and go, look how many guys I played.
Because you have the Myotis X, and you can play like Myotis Lilith X as well. Like there's a Lilith X like Myotis build. It's actually like not bad. And
which Anubis is this, by the way, right?
Just for Andrew, I'll say it's Dog Loop.
Yeah, they're all...
It's a clip. No, Andrew, any deck that plays EX5 Anubismon gets clips. If you draw EX5 Anubismon, it becomes a clip. I don't care. It's a gets clip deck.
I was helping a friend.
If you draw EX5 Anubismon, you suddenly are playing the best deck Digimon's ever had ever again.
Yeah, I was playing EX5 testing with a friend, or sorry, EX7 testing last night with a friend, helping them test Lilith, and I lost every game where they saw Anubis and Calling.
Fair.
So,
but this probably represents Sakuya.
Sakuya, and I think Sakuya is at least trust me, bro.
No,
actually, it's probably higher in clips. It's like higher in clips.
Yeah.
It still doesn't have its ace.
No, not even that.
No ace, no tops.
No ace, no scrambles, waiting for new support, like...
Yeah, it's kind of... It's like, you'll do
something... Dog water.
No, that's crazy. It's better than dog water. Look what's in dog water, Marcia.
Dude, Sakuya
is better than Sakuya, yeah.
Dude, Sakuya is the most get clips deck of all time.
But...
You watch Terry with no excitement go, and then make 15 bodies, do 100 checks, and then like end on something and go, yeah, that was pretty good.
And then die in the last second security. No. Blue plug-in.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. In theory, he makes a bunch of checks. In reality, he didn't draw the blue plug-in, and he swung 11k to 12.
He dies to an he dies to an option card. They have barrier now, so he dies to exactly the out.
If it was an option card, he'd be cool with that. But it's 11 into 12 every single time.
He has barrier now.
Is Hexeblaumon real?
Yeah, it's better than it has been in a very long time. I think it's probably if we're being responsible and making a tier list based on what will happen in EX7, it probably needs to be about where Gallantmon.
Oh, guys,
Yeah.
please stop playing. Please stop playing.
They
this
won't
deck.
though.
I will
Like
do
the
anything
loss of
in my-
the loss.
collectively
the loss-
I will do anything within my power as a human being to collectively hide every copy of BT10 Metal Greymon from the general public.
The loss of the Ukomon isn't the Ukomon they cared that much about. So like the
It's the
deck
one-
still
yeah, they didn't lose
perceives.
the one that goes
yeah.
find Kyria.
No,
Yeah,
but the
so-
thing with this deck is like you have to swing a 5 and you just play into like any deck that has like a capable ace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
might
the
not.
Garcia,
offensive deck does
but
send you to Turbo God.
in the United States, where this is their blue deck of choice, whenever you woke up 10 minutes before round 1 and you need to check in, sometimes in a best of 1 format, they just didn't have the ace when they swing their 5 3 times.
Yeah.
It's
So that is-
just like
Hunters is
okay.
no-
So you
Nope.
know how like Galaxy is like, oh, the most like belligerent blue and red cards that like now have like a home. Blue Flare is kind of like that, but for high roll only.
Put the promo Uko in there too. I don't know what they're both there as. I think it must be like
Rookie
some
Rush?
kind of-
Rookie
I would have assumed Rookie Rush.
Yeah, that's a nut.
Yeah.
Crossheart.
Crossheart is a Clips deck, like by design.
No, Crossheart's a dog water clips deck though. Like what are you?
I put it
it's
with
like
machine.
Marcio-
Yeah, I like it. I put it with
I was gonna
machine.
say it's what Marcio was saying. It's like, are you really gonna swing X5 at someone?
No, I meant just the X7 for like 10.
And then if you're
friendly left.
X7S, then you're not doing any like you're gonna do something funny, but like you want to like
I
the
do know.
Crossheart clip will send you the Crossheart player will send you a clip and you go, that's weird. Why did it end before the game ended? And then the Crossheart player will go, sim crash. Don't worry about it.
Omni Ace, is this thing real?
Trust me, guys.
Trust me, guys.
Peak, trust me, guys.
I
Like, I
don't
know, like having now played this deck, you will just scam people. Like you will. Like, it is sometimes people just
It's
die.
so
Like,
strong.
like,
The thing
I
it
don't
does
think
is
you
just
do-
so bulletproof.
So you're
Yeah.
just a rookie rush
Until
deck?
Justimon, Ace, and Lucamon are prevalent enough in the meta to pop delays, the deck will just fold you. Sometimes you'll lose to an insecurity.
all the good decks that beat it, they beat it because they can play through like they don't
They just
play
kill it
with,
before it matters.
or like yeah, like they can play through
Imperial.
the first Omni. Like it's either like not necessarily like a floater deck, but it's like a deck that they can like bait the Omni and force you to Omni,
Yeah, I agree
or they
with that.
just don't give a shit. But like it's a pretty good deck.
It also just like has like a bunch of really aggressive things it can do.
I'm testing it for reasons.
Serious
I
Mon is
believe
best
in it.
deck in the game, Sma. Do not fucking move that boy. Leave him there.
Agaru is a tier 1 deck. and
Tier
it's
one,
so-
for
Agar's
sure.
tier one.
Tier to 1.
Yeah, unblockable makes you such a big deal in blue. AncientGreymon is a 1.5er. I think it's the best red deck in the format. Post ban list, I think it's real. Yeah, I think post ban list, it's real. Me and Saf have been messing around.
I like that.
There's a lot like the
I
on
just don't
delete.
see anything that this deck does that isn't like 5 checks blitz Omni. I think that's like the only
Yeah,
thing.
but
that it
like
has
we're in a
going
best of
for it.
one
Yeah, we're in a-
format. 5 checks blitz Omni is the game.
Yeah, and it's really good at doing that in ways that other decks can't sack you with.
But the thing,
Marcio, Saf
the
was
thing
against. Saf was playing against Faye on when Faye was on my team at 3v3, and like I looked over and I was like, "Oh, Faye, you know which game are you guys on?" And Faye was like 3. I had just finished game 1.
I will also say, like, one of the things this deck, like, Source Strict is just not problem for this deck. It can pick its stuff back up from trash. Like,
It does do the same kind
the
of
strength
thing
of
that, like,
Takuya
that-
is...
A Garu and A Gray have the same exact thing they're doing, where it's like, nice source strip and interaction. Unfortunately, source strip Takuya, nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Big fan of
Okay,
AncientGreymon. I
sure.
believe in it. Yellow hybrid is like fine. I think hybrids are better right now, but like
Trust
you
me,
don't
guys.
have a win con into Mother Shoto, so I think you can never be higher than that.
Yeah.
that is true.
Green
JP
hybrid.
is not alright.
Green hybrid's not real.
Black hybrid.
Black hybrid.
Black
are we
hybrid's
going-
real.
Okay, is this the black hybrid Shoto thing?
We
Well,
have to.
it
We
has
have
to,
to because
yeah.
they haven't put
Multiple
Shoto in.
ways.
They haven't put Shoto in as a picture.
This is a trust me.
This is a trust me, like closer to 1.5 tier.
Okay.
To be honestly.
I wouldn't put it better than like I would put it like close to like Shine Blue Flare Omni, like in that range. I
You
think
must
like
be this tall. You must be this tall to ride.
I think it's
That's
better than Leopard and Ulforce.
it's not better than Leopard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
No,
is.
it is not.
Yeah,
Leopard.
it is. Because Leopard,
most-
Can't talk about Leopard.
Yeah, we can't talk about Leopard.
I can't. We can't talk about Leopard for logistics, but give me, but like,
Yeah, we can't talk about.
This is gonna go so badly if nothing happens with these cards. Purple hybrid isn't real, right?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
not yet.
for now.
Not yet.
In
Not
the
yet. Not yet.
future.
Soon.
Put Dark Knightmon in the trash. Maybe
Dog
he'll
water.
float.
No. Dog water because he pops Shoto.
He does
True.
kill Shoto Kazuma.
Well,
Nice.
Knights is tier 1.5.
It turns out Paladin put back Drazzle is enough. That's crazy.
Plus half your Knights being blockers again. Like Dynaspawn
Yeah.
that's a blocker.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I guess like if we're playing it with like Shoto, then yeah, I can see like a
real as hell.
I can see like
If my Omnimon testing does not work, I will come back for that deck.
What are we calling Minerva? Is she Minerva, or is she like cross-hard aggro?
I think
she's cross.
I don't think either
matter.
of them particularly.
Neither of them.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
She's a single copy in my friend's.
Can we get a tier? Can we get a separate part of the tier list that is just Justice Josh and put Minerva?
No. It's Repamon for 2 guys. Repamon for 3. Sorry, is it for 2?
Anyways, I don't think Mastamon's that good.
Yeah.
Like she's cool, but she's not good.
Okay, I don't think it's like that bad.
No, she is better than some of the stuff in here. We could probably put her at the bottom of dog water.
She's in Trust Me at least.
Clips are at worst.
Trust Me at least.
All right, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We're with Gallantmon. Have some respect. This deck just got top 8 last week.
Wait, did it?
Yeah, it topped in NA and in Europe.
Never mind. I literally thought
crazy.
this deck I thought this was doing the same thing that like All Fours did at the beginning of 11, where it was like hypes to shit and then no tops until like a set later.
Is this Angels or are we using something else?
No, there's a separate image later that is all 3 of the 3 great Angels. I think this is just like
Wyback?
No, they don't even bother.
Don't bother with him or Shadow Seraphim.
He's not real.
Like we'll just treat all of the 3 great Angels as 3 great Angels.
Maybe Dorbic is like better than it used to be.
If your name is Derek.
Yeah, I think Dorbic is
again. It was thing Marcy was saying. It was like, are you really about to try to swing Dorbic and hope to God that you cleared all the ace things before it swings? It'll clip the shit out of someone.
It's like the bottom of clips. I don't think it's better than like some of the more established like.
Worse than Bloom for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next.
Sylphie?
Sylphie.
Trust me, guys.
Why?
I beats the shit out of Magna, and you can still use Partition to beat the fuck around other stuff.
Yeah, but like it's so piece relying, and it has like the worst draw power from the 2 like.
Yeah, but you get the Revelation Kari.
Yeah, but like that's not like without Nume.
I apologize for making fun of Mastamon. I have yet to literally ever see it do anything. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Please make me wrong. One of you make me wrong.
You were wrong. It got top 8.
I was wrong, but
yeah, you were just wrong.
Make me wrong again. Make me wrong for this format.
Wait. Could you play like a version of Sylphie that's like Sylphie with like Ancient Garuru package?
Probably.
Sorry, Ancient-Greymon. What the fuck am I
mean, it's both colors, right? It's yellow and red.
Both.
You could Splish and Splash.
Yeah, like Greymon to play out of your Yole Kari. Yeah.
And then you DNA with the Greymon.
Whoa.
Gentlemen, I come to you with a proposition for Shakomon.
Yep.
Oh no.
He's actually a Trust Me Guys deck.
Okay.
It's the top end, right? Like
it's the top end.
The metallic Dramon could be okay.
Yep. He's figured it out. Marcio has. Oh no, he leaked Jamie's list. That was messed up.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't know if we have Imperial on this list. We thought he'd be on here somewhere. If he isn't, I'm sure Andrew has
We'll add it.
on his tier list.
We can add it now.
If you want the spoilers, it's probably still top of tier 1.
Surely you'll have like a picture of Dragon Mode in your folder or something, right?
Yeah, I probably do. Liam, send me a picture of the Ghost Palliace whilst we're doing this, and it can be the Imperial.
Yellow. Let's speed run through this.
Yellowback.
Yeah, no, that's not Yellowback. Yellowback is the 2 armor forms next to each other.
Yeah, this is like
that's
sure.
Terrier.
Oh yeah, this is Terrier.
Trust me.
It'd be really funny
Like,
to go,
I think that Terrier is like, it's
Terrier.
real as fuck, and your one Terrier player friend will make you think it's crazy. Then you'll go to a locals and find, and then you'll go to like an event and discover that not every Terrier player is your one crazy Terrier player friend, and they're just sitting there going, "Oh my god, Momentai," whereas your friend is like, "I think you're dead."
Yeah.
And then you die because you fucking biomerge HP.
Buy a Buster Dive. Put it into your 1.5.
I would say like the top of 1.5.
People literally like started taking their Magna X out of their deck now that Yellowback is gone, and then are still just going, "Oh, I can't beat Magna X," and it's fucking funny every time.
It does have on occasion a bad Shadow interaction. Like sometimes you do have to just like accept that
you have to blinding ray your security instead of doing this.
But like it's not the end of the world.
Is this Eclipse deck?
Well, that deck is dead because they killed the evolving over the level 5s, and
I just
like the yellow
option
option
have
for
to play
BT9 dying.
like I think didn't it get like a result?
Yeah, I would say like it's like a dog water clip deck.
It is no worse than some of the stuff we have in clips.
Yeah, it has to go in clips, but like I'm just saying it's not good.
No, I don't think so.
I would choose to play a different pile.
Oh yeah, but that's what clips is. Clips is our high rolls tier. Have you noticed that everything in clips has the potential to draw a limited one of or interact in a way that's toxic?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, what's next?
What's next?
He's uploading an Imperial JPEG.
Yeah, it's
right
Alliance.
Is that Alliance?
Alliance? Yeah, Alliance is kind of tight. I don't think it's ever like.
I will not put Alliance any lower than Clips because I keep taking 6 damage.
So the thing with Alliance is like.
The problem is I take 6 damage and then the board disappears. And
No. It's more like it's not about the board because you make boards out of thin air, right? Like
yeah.
The main thing with Alliance is that like nobody wants to play it. Like I think this deck is like better than Bloom to an extent. Like if Bloom's on the list, and this deck has to go higher than Bloom.
I agree with that.
So like no scrambles hurt this deck a lot, right? But that's like we've had decks where like scrambles hurt. But you have defensive lines, like the deck isn't
top of tier 1. Like let's skip the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's not the best deck in the format.
It's not, but like, just stick him in there.
I don't. I think Mirage is the best deck in EX7.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it beats the things that are unfair and has blue unfairness.
Sure.
Also gets to play Hexeblaumon.
Yeah. With Cherubi, I would say like.
Well, so does Imperial. The Imperial just top ends into whatever it wants now. They don't even necessarily play Imperial. They just like it's the 5s and lower plus toolbox. Like Shane Tan of the Unkers, shout out to the Unkers, said that if you don't know, they have a coaching service, but they're like really funny because like the thing they keep advertising is it's like, are you sick of losing? Just learn the best deck of the next 3 formats. Come learn Armor Imperial.
So what was the thing on Alliance?
So I would say like it's like very close to the top of Clips, but like even then, I wouldn't even put it that high up. It's just because like most people don't want to play the deck. Like despite the deck,
Bloom is there, then like I was gonna say,
it's like the Terriermon people want to play Terriermon. So like
that's like it's such a confused identity. Lilithmon
like,
Andes versus like, from my understanding, the Lilithmon / Terriermon Andes exist in this parabolic state. Well, they'll just play whichever one got newer, shinier toys, as evidenced by whenever I watch Trix get new support. Where last set Trix was playing Alliance because Alliance got newer, shinier toys. But this set, when they both got stuff, on delete Gargomon is a menace.
Yeah, like
also
not to spend like too much time on Alliance. It's just like it's good, but like it's like we know how good it is. Most people won't like push it.
It's also the time committed to it. Demon Lord is really good, by the way.
Yeah, so I wanna. We didn't take a long time to talk about Royal Knights. I think that both of them collectively they're attached to each other at the hip. The problem is Demon Lords and Royal Knights are good enough to be tier 1 decks, but they have officially crossed into the threshold where they will now occupy enough of them.
Cards put back in for them.
Psychmons are coming back. Solarmons are coming back. And that will mean that they probably aren't going to be like, like just like in BT13, they aren't going to win everything, but they are real enough and they gatekeep the things and they make themselves threats in tier 1.
What I was going to say is that like, while I agree with you, I still think that like Demon
Lords play a little better.
Demon Lords is like tier 1.
It's just being one color helps a lot.
It's like
also like a lot of the things that give Royal Knights pause, Demon Lords doesn't, because Demon Lords can just spend 8 on their removal spells of choice. Like obviously Royal Knights have the removal spells that are their Digimon, but like being able to be like, you know what, I will Biting Crush this thing is
like Biting Crush. Demon Lords have like a higher ceiling, I think, and they can play like more checkmate cards. Like while you can like Remote Shoto, and also like if you have a good matchup into Royal Knights and you can consistently clear their guys, that's not like you're actively like stopping them from winning the game. Demon Lords, if you're removing their guys without combat, then they're still accelerating.
They're still going under the gate.
Yeah, they're still going under the gate.
Yeah, but Royal Knights can ace threaten you. Like that's the thing that deck does now that's unfair. Yeah, like it is real. Like the results matter. Yeah, Crimson and Paladin do things to that deck that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I'm gonna let you in on the secret future of Digimon. It's 4 BT5 Dynas, 4 BT6, 4 BT5 Lord Knight, 4 BT6 Dynas, 4 BT13 Kentaros, and we play ShineGreymon Ace Turbo.
Well, I mean, also it's like, how there are so many decks that just on the spot lose to Gonkumon, brings Craniumon from the raising area, and that starts the domino of like, motherfucker, are you ready for Crimson mode? It's very good.
We can definitely bring Demon Lords down if like the rest of
I agree with you. I think it's better. I want to be clear. I think they're I wanted to make the point that they are both better now than they were in 17, but they are going to suffer for being better in a way that the other tier 1 decks won't, which is why
like 3 Mega Zoo. By the way, this is like 3
you like
viable
Mega
Mega
Zoo,
Zoo.
welcome back, baby. We're in
Holy
there.
shit, dude.
By
Like,
the way, can we just put Lucemon in Naa because its win condition isn't out yet?
yeah,
Oh,
sure.
So what are the Liliths here? Because Lilith X is obviously Lilith X.
Isles.
What is the criminal doing here?
I would
This
put
is
Lilith-
real Lilith. This is the
Yeah.
purple good
Mill.
stuff loot.
Yeah, Mill is dead. I
Um,
can save you guys the time.
Yeah, I would put like
Lilith
Mill,
is having a bad time. I think
Lilith X.
is better than people give it credit for,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah,
it is
she's crazy.
largely untested. I
Trust.
think a purple pilot could top and win with it, but I think Trust Me Guys is the only place I can fairly say it should go.
Yeah.
Because it has not won
Because
anything.
your friend who
all
wants to
know.
play Lilithmon is going to show up and
Well,
they're
no,
gonna,
but, like-
you'll be like, oh, this deck's reasonable. And then you'll go to an event and then not your friend from locals who's
So-
playing Lilithmon, but someone who's been raised in the high mountains of the deepest depths of hell and is like, hey, do you want to see me make 6 level 5s out of thin air, also using your Digimon as material?
So I will tell you the exact thing that changes Lilith's place in the format. There's only one thing that matters, which is that Lilith is a deck that cared about deletion being good or bad, but it cares however much it cares about those things, it cares the most about yellow being bad. And because Yellow Vaccine got nerfed and you can't kill Lilith during state check when her effects would activate, so Lilith can no longer be like, I've been DP minus to 0, I'll kill something, oh, I'm dead anyway. Like that no longer, because that happens to her less, the card gets to do its thing more and it gets to progress the game more effectively. So it is a big deal.
Is Lady good? More at 11.
Angels is
Great
like
Angels.
fine, trust me, I don't care.
That's
Like
fine.
the thing is like they'll print more Angel support in 18.
We need
I
the
wouldn't put
18
it that.
stuff.
I wouldn't even put it that high personally.
No.
Back.
I'll put
I,
it
don't-
in clips.
I don't even think it gets clips without the new stuff, honestly.
Like it's like
I don't know. How
The
bad
mini?
Ruby always
no,
clips
the
somebody.
cost on these cards was balanced around the comical amount of memory that TK would give you consistently, and
Yeah,
you
that-
don't have the comical amount of memory that TK give you anymore. So it's like, oh shit, I'm actually going to be paying like, 3 for a Magna Angemon and then Magna Angevolve for 2 into what's his name?
The mini.
The next wave of Great Angels.
Pay for the mini play Magna Ange from security and then 2 for another Angel. It's like I really had to actually pay all 7 of this memory.
The next wave of Great Angel cards is going to be incredible for Yellow, though. Like it's going to go from a deck that's
when
like,
it gets
all
when it
right,
gets
to
its new
like,
toys, I can start shooting stuff.
Ragna is better in EX7 than it is in 17, right? Because
the
it
thing
has
I
a
will
good
give
matchup into
Ragna
Shadow
is-
Mother.
But
The thing that I'll give Ragna exactly is that it's the taunt deck that doesn't lose to getting suspended on swing.
It also
Because
beats
A, it
Shadow
can't
Mother.
be most of the time, and also Radia. Like
Raid and
there
Security
are a
Breach.
lot of ways it can interact favorably into stuff. The problem is it's like it's so slow.
This deck is like
If you're
Guys, it can't be dog water. There's no way it's
No,
not.
no. I'm hovering
Okay.
the wrong place.
The
It's
But
thing
like,
is, like-
either top of clips or bottom of trust me.
I'm
Like I
trying to-
think the problem in my head with it is it's like the thing we were saying about how like you won't see Leviamon because all the Levia Andes are on Demon Lords. I don't think you'll see Ragna because everyone who's trying to resolve a taunt is probably hanging out with Gora.
The thing is, like, you get to be unaffected by
Most
Digimon
of the people,
effects.
Andrew.
You have like what effects give you like immunity to like with like Hexeblaumon, right, coming out and like having like Blue now has like a very good like Source Strip engine.
Mhm.
You can just Source Strip Ragnar, right? Like you don't.
I thought he was immune to
no.
Digivolve. He's immune to Digimon effects.
no,
You have to have an
so
option to source strip him.
Yeah, an option or a tamer.
So the problem is, you have to have
also
option
someone
or
might have-
tamer.
Decks might be missing.
Like
We'll add things to the list, guys.
Hexeblaumon, like presuming they have, the Daiken engine, they probably smoke your shit. Like, the thing is, you also have to be on starter Breeway to be immune to Digimon effects. So like, you are
Starter
making
Breeway
a
is
weirder
closer to
stack
transferable.
just to make sure that you don't lose the Digimon effects, which is fair.
I
But
was saying you also have a whole turn to like sort some of that those problems out because
I mean,
the first
isn't
turn
that what
Ragnar
Mirage
comes out,
does?
he is just full unaffected.
Like
You-
Mirage makes a concession and makes a weird level 5 so that it can swing around things. Like
I have since tried to help Kai figure out how Mirage, goes Ragna. It's this really unfun, frustrating interaction of
I wasn't suggesting into the head-to-head. I'm saying like it's not a death blow that your deck has to make an in-archetype weird deck building decision.
Tom,
like
the other
there
thing-
are other decks that are good that get to do that, and they are tier 1.
the other problem is that Ragnar was specifically good at killing particular strategies that were good, and all those decks got hit on the ban list, and the two decks that were our worst matchups did not get hit. And EX7
Yeah,
has
Imperial
not
is
fixed
pretty
that
good.
problem.
That probably made it worse, to be honest. Just
Yeah.
happening to beat Mother Shoto just means you have a weird
It's
new
like-
niche.
It's like the thing with Ragnar is like badly positioned in the format right now, because like Lilith kind of checks it somewhat and also like Imperial.
Funny lady told me to do bad things.
It's like very, very powerful deck, but matchups are kind of a toss right now, I would say.
I think that deck is like clips.
Very
It has
true,
it, like everyone I've talked to about this deck is like, yeah, it actually quietly beats the blue decks. It's just like who wants to play it.
Sure.
The problem, funnily enough, it loses to Ragna.
Yeah, it loses really hard to Ragna.
That's really hard.
What the fuck are we calling UltimateChaosmon? We already did Dark Masters.
I think this is the Zwart Dark Masters loop. So this is like the spawn the level 5s, make them into like Dark Master 6s. Like this is the thing. Like it's just a different. It's the different version of the Armageddon. We have Apocalypse up higher right now.
Yeah.
And I think this deck and Apocalypse are basically the same engine with different level 7s.
The thing with the Ultimate Chaos though is that like you can. I feel like you go into it and it's funny, but like what if you just
4 is really good.
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of it's
Trust
okay.
me, guys.
Yeah, trust me, guys. It's fine.
Yeah,
if you guys were sat, if I was not here, like Derek was here, you guys would let him put it in. Trust me, guys.
The exact thing
that's like trust Derek, and he's lying to me.
UltimateChaosmon is exactly your friend who's like, trust, I've broken. I broke the Dark Masters deck. I've fixed it. It's broken as hell now, and it's like, okay, bro, you got it.
His deck profile is gonna go crazy on this channel.
Bugs, Marcia, what are we saying about it? It lost the thing it was good at hunting.
Not even that. Like there's just a bunch of
also Imperial.
There's just like a bunch of Imperial. Like I figured out ways to beat Imperial.
Also Hexeblaumon.
It's just there's like so much like
ice clad bugs.
There's so many like yucky like ooh I don't want to play this as a green player and as a bug lover I'm just like ooh I don't wanna. But like sometimes
if it gets to play its target matchups, it is still TyrantKabuterimon. There are still some decks that literally just look at it and go, damn, that's TyrantKabuterimon. I can't beat this.
It beats a lot of like fraudulent ass like trust me guys bro decks or like clip decks. Like it
beats everything in red and purple on a good day.
It'll have days where like I feel like $1,000,000. I'm like, damn.
And then your opponent's nice with round 1, and he'll go, oh, yeah, I just love Digimon Adventure. Anyways, hatch DemiV promo Vmon Daiken for 4, and you'll go,
And then sometimes, that's not even, like, the main issue. It's just, like, the deck is missing things to make it, like, feel good to play. I don't feel great about playing Tyrant.
What is Shroudmon here? What is Shroudmon?
Pulsemon, I suppose.
No, because Kazuchi, because Kazuchi is there separately, and then so is Kazuchi Fenrir.
And just don't put it in. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, Shroud doesn't count. Amphi,
like I'll be real with you, it will donkey roll someone, but that's about it. But I think if you're gonna try to donkey
if people expect to see Megazoo, Amphimon is uniquely good into Megazoo, and especially Demon Lords. Oh man, not being deletable is really good into Demon Lords. Not being deletable and emptying the trash is messed up.
I have not played Amphi in a very long time.
I think she's dog water. I want to be clear. She's just better than the other 2 Ghost Game decks.
She farms clips. She definitely farms clips. Like Game Bug.
This is a deck that does have a built-in, 5 security into what's it called? Line? 5 security into Blitzomni line. Like she has that.
She does have that.
And that means that she is no worse at farming clips than Red Hybrid. The only difference is Red Hybrid can also do a thing that isn't farm clips, and that's Sakuya.
EX7 doesn't give you dinosaur stuff yet, right, Tom?
No.
And Grandis OTK is also not real.
No, it's not a real deck.
No, I was looking to see if Alphamon and Melga were still next to each other. They're not. The joke.
These will go in like they could go into like if it was BT9.
Pulsemon is trust me.
Pulsemon is trust me. Yeah. I mean, trust. Yeah, in Terry we trust. Wait.
I think it's. I mean,
okay. Can we just consolidate all of the Pulsemon cards into Pulsemon with a Kazoo with what's his name with Takemika next to him and Shroudmon are just the same deck, and we accept that? Like, I just cannot be fucked to like pretend that there's that many variants of Pulsemon.
So like, I will say the only thing I would say is like a real difference is like the decks that play Takemika for game and the decks that don't. Like that broadly does make a difference to their game plan, but like it's not.
The one thing I will give Pulsemon Takemika is exactly HPD into Takemikazuchi feels like it was designed in a lab to make me as sad as possible.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Oh, we need to get an
Argomon swing!
Whoa. We need to take a pause. We need a emoji combination for all the loyal viewers.
True. Before we get,
can I suggest that it's a dog and the left arrow and the up arrow, and it's like the HPD for the Takamika.
That's funny, yeah.
What about like a snowflake? We
so
add a
it's
snowflake
dog.
as well.
It's dog left up snowflake.
all
Dog
right.
left up snowflake.
So if you made it this far specifically, I see you in Twitch chat. If you want to relive this train wreck again on YouTube, dog left up snowflake.
This is
Anyways,
a
now we're
GTA
turning
cheat
daily
code.
schedule programming. Argomon, sweet!
He's in dog
It's the
water.
best deck, actually.
Dog
It's
water.
just straight up the best deck.
It's
Dog water.
fun, but it's kind of booty.
Can I talk about EOSmon?
Yeah.
You can talk about EOSmon, Tom. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Tom.
Okay, so this deck, I had my understanding of a certain judge ruling changed recently, and I did not understand it correctly. EOSmon's way better than. I mean, it has a favorable matchup into all the decks that just spew tamers out there, but like every single copy of Manoa is true invulnerability for the board, so like you just can't out it. So I think it's probably better than Fenrir, but like I don't think people will play it. We're talking playability.
It's after seeing the ruling, I now understand why it won things in Japan.
Yeah, perfect.
What was the ruling thing specifically?
So basically,
17 Manoa can prevent infinite numbers of Eosmons leaving the board by deleting one thing.
Yes, it is. So basically, the long and short of it is decoy is translated wrong in English. Decoy is supposed to say decoy, the thing, and then a number next to it for how many things you can decoy, which in most cases is 1. The way Manoa is actually written in Japanese, she effectively says decoy, super decoy, Eosmon, infinite. So you can pop one thing and
prevent your whole board.
a whole
from
board
anything messing with them.
Yeah, so that is why like the Manoa is not written like that in English, but that is how she works in Japanese. You can take it into the sim and it works the exact way it's supposed to, but yeah, it's a thing that like decoy should say the number of things you can decoy on it, and it doesn't.
Never did.
So Manoa is not written in a way that clarifies that. But yes, very stupid.
So is this everything now, leaving us with?
These are the EX7 archetypes, but we don't have decks yet. We need to put in decks.
Yeah, we need to put we're gonna put the two decks either in the same box or in a separate box. I don't care.
Diaboro, have we done Diaboro?
Oh, we haven't done Diaboro either.
I thought he was already in here. I thought I saw
No, he
him.
isn't. The thing with Diaboromon is me and Marcy have been talking about it. The thing that Diaboromon does is use the token. The token's the funniest thing you could pick. Oh, yes.
That's a bogus.
Wait, hang on, maybe not that. You know what? Fuck it.
Whatever. No, that one is perfect.
So the thing that
we will get to Gora. We will get to Dex Dora.
We will get to Gora. Diaboromon is this thing that me and Marcy want to talk about. I'd recommend BT16, like using BT16 Doru as you can, if you can, to be as like black base, and then doing like I don't fucking know Baomon BT16 as.
Yeah, the Baomon, sure.
Or Baomon BT17 and Dorumon BT16 if you've got them. I can go find them for you.
I don't think I have thing. So I mean, you can also go black base.
Sure, that works.
Sure, yeah, whatever works out. And then Baomon 17 is the best thing you have for Gora black base, unless you just have a Doru Goramon on hand and just use that for purple base, and it's fine.
Gora is fine.
If you just have a Gora, it's fine. Either way, thing with Diaboromon. Me and Marcy have been talking about this because Diaboromon feels like it has one thing it's very, very funny at doing, and that's Paramon.
That's a very cool thought that you have.
Alfie called it Budokai Tenkaichi Fenrir.
That's way funnier than anything you have to say.
Fix the tier list. Get him up there. He's gonna win the Budokai Tenkaichi World Tour.
He's going to be the.
He's gonna get Dragon Balls.
Why is he saying mean stuff to Oob?
They're gonna call him the drink.
He used to be the cup, but now he's the drink. Yeah. Anyways, fucking Diaboromon, right? BT17 Caramon is the single funniest response you can have to an Imperial player, because you just stick that thing in front of him, and if they evolve into a Imperialdramon, if it's not the starter deck one, you go into D-Digivolve Inframon and turn it back into XV and go, okay, show me the next thing in the next pile. Right now. You haven't drawn any cards yet, but show me the next thing in the next pile.
There's like certain scenarios that like...
Yeah, perfect. Those will do for Gora.
Those are like, there's some scenarios that like Diaboromon, you have to kind of be like one with the viruses. You have to be one with the internet.
Yeah, you have to have been the guy who watched our war game and went.
You gotta have the lowdown.
Yeah.
No, this is my trust me, guys. This is my like. I think a Diaboromon player will go on the miracle run of a bunch of Imperial players who were like, "Ew, the starter deck pile stinky. I don't want to play it," and then they won't be able to out VT17 Caramon and lose the game.
It's either that or like they just like evolve in the back, and then you're like, oh, never mind, they beat my gameplay.
Well, if they evolve in the back, it means that you're not getting fucking what's it called? You're not getting like Rosemon burst moded, so you have a chance to do more stuff on your side, including but not limited to quartzing them.
It's basically like if the Imperial player starts thinking about ways that they could lose, then yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
put the Goras both at like. Put the purple one in probably top of tier 1.5.
I think Alliance means it's
Whoa,
more.
no,
I think Alliance is more valuable in EX7.
Top of 1.5 and then top of 1.5 for purple. And
what about Alliance?
Wait, Alliance is in the deck.
Like bottom of tier 1.5.
Yeah, purple base
like
gets Alliance, black base gets Piercing.
But
black
no,
base at best can still do most of the unfair things purple base can do.
But the black base can also play AG.
Yeah, but you need the DP to get over things, and I think like having the D, as long as you can get the DP
and black base.
All right, if you can find the AGs enough to get over the Mother Shotos, I think then black base is fine. But my point is like part of what meant
the other thing as well though, you don't actually have to get over Mother.
It's really annoying.
If you literally can just go swing a Doruga, collide with the mother, it goes sideways, Dex evolve to keep yourself alive, and then swing the rest of your guys through. Because it's a single blocker that doesn't unsuspend unlike Magna, so you can literally just be like, Doruga, turn her sideways.
Yeah, the Tamers are always sideways in that deck though, so having tools
you don't have a real chance to eat.
The black base does. That's the difference. So like make a Gargo to stop them going sideways and then kill them.
Oh, actually no,
you can't just bump the Tamer because they're not upright.
If they give you something to taunt, then you can. Obviously, the assumption there is that there's something to taunt. Because if there's something to taunt, then
if they're giving you something to taunt, they messed up.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Can we speedrun through these guys? Are any of them actually going? Yeah.
Well,
can we put him in Tom? Can we just? I don't want to talk about heavy metal.
He actually is that bad right now. Nature Spirits I think Nature Spirits is like top of dog water. Like it has a real niche.
Nature Spirits.
I literally hate Eldorado. Hexeblaumon as a deck is like, trust me, guys.
No, that's kind of, I think like if we're talking about Hexeblaumon, I think there's no point talking about Hexeblaumon the deck. It should be like Hexeblaumon the card.
Yeah.
Well, we've already talked about the card. It's Mirage, Imperial, and Grace Nova.
Yeah.
No, the problem with Hexeblaumon
are there because they steal Hexeblaumon.
The problem with Hexeblaumon and like the reason that EX7 is such a stupid incestuous blue pile post ban list is like that all of the decks they just share a top end. There is the Imperial players don't play Imperialdramon. They just play free type up to level 5, and then they play Magnamon X, Mirage, and Hexeblaumon. Like those are the lists that topped. And like that's where the advent of like Togemogumon and what's his name, Lydramon, like as the level 4s came back. Like that was armor DNA. Like that was the thing again.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. But my thing is, that is not something that like everybody's going to play. Like Imperial, as like an Imperial Dragon Mode, Fighter Mode, Paladin deck will still exist without.
For a couple events.
We'll see. Like, while yes, like we've followed Japanese trends before, I don't see a world where like all the topping lists will be like the split. I think the split is pretty strong if your deck can play it, and that's something that like you want to try. But there's going to be some sort of like stability in sense of like, Dragon Mode is still like going to be like
card. I'm not going to knock it.
I can definitely.
I left it here. Are we happy with that?
I think the pure Hexeblaumon deck is like a trust me guys thing because at worst it is still just Hexeblaumon. It's not a tall Hexeblaumon like the good stuff that he gets to be in his other decks, but like it's still Hexeblaumon. Like if it's taller than Imperialdramon, it'll still stop 2 damage.
I don't even. Wait, sure, this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily.
Like he doesn't have Hexeblaumon does not have his second wave of support for his pure deck. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't even. He gets like a fake second wave before he gets his real second wave too, because he can steal Tommy stuff. So it's like
that's what I'm saying. It's like you can play the Tommy stuff at least.
We can do Musket.
I think of these 3, I think Muskets is the best positioned right now, and then those 2 will immediately go back up when Scrambles come out.
Yeah.
I think Muskets might sneak its way into a top 16.
Those cards are kind of moody. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but they do beat the blue decks.
I guess.
Ooh,
No,
no.
Put it where like Mastemon is. Put it where like Mastemon is.
Why does your tier list let you put fucking Muskets that high, but then it doesn't let you put Fenrir that high?
Yeah,
a row below it.
You lost the Muskets.
Yeah, I lost the Master as well.
I just look at those cards and I'm like, what does this actually do?
What are we saying about the two poster childs?
Are we not talking? Okay.
I mean,
like it's Muskets. Like, what do you want me to say? It's Muskets. The actual way most Musket players that I know win is because their deck is half Setcon sometimes.
Well, it's like the Musket players. They're all like, man, I can't use BT6 BL Starmon anymore. I have to.
They will. They will.
They probably will.
They'll grief their lists for a little bit and figure it out.
What are we talking about? What are we saying about the two poster children? By the way,
I think
Sandri will.
I think Zafagamon is a tiny bit. I think Zafagamon is a tiny bit better positioned because inherently beating Unsuspend and becoming immune is a very strong effect to just randomly have.
Zafaga, I think, is like a real ass deck. I think it's like pretty high.
I would say for safety. I've seen a few tier lists. I was watching people, like make things in post. And some people just like randomly were putting this deck like higher than it should be. With Zafagamon, like I believe in the deck. You guys believe in it. But then, like, the deck is, like, not complicated, but it's, like, a bit weird, and, like, not having scrambles will, like, make it weird. I would say
it's high trust me, yeah.
It's, like, pretty high trust me. I wouldn't put it anything that's, like, tier 1.5 or anything like that, because, like, we genuinely, like, the few results that we got from Japan
it's apples to oranges. You can't compare Zafagamon with scrambles to Zafagamon without scrambles. Like we essentially have no data.
You can.
I feel very strongly that the two Shoto and Orisa decks are just not the same as they were there.
So the thing with Zafagamon is while you don't have scrambles, you can build to accommodate for the lack of bodies, right? Like you can play like the promo Shoto, which was something that Japan was not doing, and include the promo Shoto as like a way
like
to
a
develop
cheap rebuild.
Like a cheap rebuild or like an extra body, right? Like, is it going to be great? Probably it'll be okay. Central, I think, like, actually is like pretty good because I think Central is less reliant on the scrambles.
Like, I feel like I think Sandri has this advantage of any aggro deck has the advantage of sometimes they just die. Right?
It's also that like it's a yellow deck with protection.
Yes, that's so.
Like, it's a yellow deck that DP minuses, has protection, and can, like, push an insane amount of damage.
She's kind of... I would still put her a little lower than Zafaga, personally. I don't know.
I'm willing to cope this into 1.5. I think, like, Central's actually, like, pretty good.
You think Central's 1.5?
Like, if you build it correctly and not like a donkey.
That's me. I'm donkey.
You know what?
Like,
I'm
sure,
down for
let's have our one, like... Okay, that will force interaction.
Look at like the Trust Me decks, right? And like Central kind of like Nene's on most of them.
I kind of feel like we have some of these a little low actually.
What do you mean?
I feel like I'm trying not to leak anything, but like I feel like some of the 1.5 guys and some of the Trust Me guys are actually a lot closer than they should be. Like I think Shoto Black Hybrid and I think Shine and I think Leopard and I think Davis maybe all need to look at
you want to bump them up?
I think they probably could go up, yeah. Not necessarily into the next tier, but like the thing is, I think the gap between Trust Me guys and 1.5 is not huge towards the end.
My thing with like Trust Me guys, it feels like kind of ambiguous. Like I feel like there should be like a no, because then we're doing Trust Me guys as 2.5 and that doesn't feel great. Technically, Trust Me guys is our tier 2 slot, right?
Yeah, this is just like stuff we think is good but won't win.
Yeah.
So what were the decks that you picked? Like, you think Shine is like good enough?
I think Shine is good enough to top.
But okay, you say that. I say that. Also, we have Shadow Clone Jutsu Andrew.
Yeah.
You say that. I say that. And then every time I go up against a Shine player, they're always like, man, I don't know how people win with this deck. And I'm like, well, it clearly did win, so I don't know if it's
in your
like,
Latin blood.
It's like, I don't know if it's like a skill issue or whatever, because like the deck is clearly insane. I think like most people are just not like utilizing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we also talked about not ordering the smaller tiers or the lower tiers, excuse me. So like we don't have to move things around. But I just want it to be known that I don't think the gap between 1.5 and Trust Me guys is necessarily huge. Depends on your deck. And if you want to know more, get in the comments.
The tier 1 is basically like the skeleton that's like, well, it's like...
what happens if you just delete Do all those decks just stop being on this tier list?
I have no idea.
I think they'll go to the bottom, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? We'll scroll so NuTTa isn't there. Or NuTTa is like teased.
So like, if you zoom in a bit more, like tier 1.5, right? So, Dark Masters. I feel like it's a 1.5, but I don't know if it's better than like Purple Gora.
I want to be clear. Sorry, before I get flagged for this. Galaxy is not the second best deck in the game, but it is a tier 1 deck.
I would put it like the bottom of tier 1.
I think it's better than Demon Lords.
Cool. We fine with this layout? Do people want a thumbs up sign off for all the Baba Booey watchers?
I want to be clear as well. I think the thing about like until something gets done about like Mirage, Turn Skip, Homer stuff, that's a thing in that deck, and you will lose to that sometimes.
We need to see
if you go to a Dallas, like they haven't done anything about it yet. If it showed up at Dallas, it showed up at Dallas.
That's what I was gonna say, right? Like we can use like today's event as like a barometer for like
PT17.
How fucking wrong we were.
Sort of.
No, it's not even the same format.
Oh, yeah,
no.
The same format.
No. What I'm saying is like post ban list biggest event probably.
Yeah.
Where there is an opportunity. Yeah, like biggest opportunity for people to play like the broken blue decks. Like, will the blue decks actually come out on top? Because the other big event that we had, was it an online event or was it an in-person event?
In person.
Wow, and that was the like 300 like were like 150 were Imperial players.
That was in Niagara, yeah.
Maybe
but that was the 17 one. So.
I don't know. Like I think Shoto, we didn't talk about like we didn't lead with Shoto as being like the thing that.
Is Black Hybrid on here as Shoto Mother?
Yes.
Like the deck.
Yeah.
Shoto Mother Black Hybrid.
So the thing about EX7 that's important to understand is that like despite deck strength, it really is like there are two cards that are coming out that will shape the rest of the farm, and that's Shoto and Hexeblaumon, in my opinion. Does anybody disagree with that?
No, yeah, those are the two best cards in the set. Yeah.
Right? So like if your deck is able to play those cards, your deck is like automatically better than like a bunch of other shit. Because if you're
playing a solid backup plan of becoming a Shoto blocker deck, or saying, I'm saying like if you are using them in your pet deck, like say like let's going down the tier list of like blue decks at the bottom here, your Amphimon deck could just evolve you could just evolve Tethys into Hexeblaumon, right? And like at worst you are a bad Hexeblaumon deck, right?
Yeah.
Like Shoto's a little different than that because like he only really works when there's like heinous things to give blocker to. That's why he's good in the Megazoo decks.
Yes, he's very, very good in the Megazoo deck. So that's what I'm saying, like, for the tier list, Megazoo basically is going to have, like, a big, like, get used to playing fucking against Megazoo. Like, like, all the armor Andes, you guys are chilling, because Stardeck Magna, you fucking, you do the thing, and then you bounce them, and
the fucking Gogeta pose?
Yeah, you Gogeta pose, except against, like, maybe Mother, I think
it's a big reason Davis came back in Japan, because if you're the Megazoo deck that doesn't lose to the Blagos blockers, you win. You lose to Pomu, but that's fine.
Shoto Mother probably is okay into armor, maybe.
Shoto Mother's I mean, like the thing with Shoto Mother is like you need to be able to interact with Magna X, and so that puts you on like Hammer Sparks or Flame Dramons. But like, it's tougher for. I mean, it is a thing that can wall that deck.
All right, one last look at it. I guess.
One last look at it.
We happy?
Maybe Leviamon goes down a bit. Actually,
we're gonna get tweeted at I can just see it now. It's got nothing to do with the deck. It's got nothing to do with the placement, but just a like shitty 10x10 pixel JPEG of sample text Apocalypse is gonna get us tweeted at.
That's fine with me.
Y'all think that's the 6th best deck in the game?
Should we do a funny?
I think it has really good matchups.
And me too.
Should we do the funny thing where we move one of the low tier deck? Like take the picture.
Oh yeah.
Take a picture of like a low tier deck all the way up. I am just gonna say the obvious. Put it back.
No. It's Argomon believable.
It's Argomon sweep.
Yeah,
it's always been Argomon sweep. It has never not been Argomon sweep. Top of tier 1, best deck.
No. Conspicuously right in front of Taka Mikazuchi to maintain Andrew's status quo as a Luga hater.
Perfect. Excellent
right.
bait, gentlemen.
I think that
Argomon's
Argomon's sweet.
I think you're right.
Get them now. They beat BT18.
I think you're right.
Hybrids are dead.
You're right in the sense that like we'll get tweeted at or like the comments.
But I want to be clear. I also think the deck is good.
Oh, bro, if they tweet at us or comment on us, it just gives Andrew interactions. Bro, I want to be wrong. Literally, prove me wrong. But don't at me for it. At Andrew for it.
We have to say the things that we think out loud because when that happens, Andrew can make a YouTube short out of it.
Yes, of course. We're now, from now on, we're in like YouTube
we told you so mode.
We're in YouTube short mode. Okay.
Shit, hang on. Do I have anything inflammatory I can say to try to beta short here? I'm looking at the tier list.
I can't believe where you guys put Alphamon. All right, everyone.
No, that deck's dog water, bro.
Yeah, but you get clicks. So everybody be quiet. Let Harry get some clear audio, and then Harry gives a line read.
I can't believe you put Alphamon that low. That deck's crazy, bro. Have you read BT13 Alphamon? It stops the big guys from swinging at you.
Perfect.
At players. Is it Fogomon effect?
Yeah,
right.
Fogomon effect.
But
so
yeah.
going to like a pocket because I want to talk about like a pocket deck specifically, and like your engine is great. Your Shoto Mother deck, which is great. But like the aces that you get to play, they're like incredible aces that you just
Vike and Mega Gargo go the distance.
Why are all the good aces green?
No, green
and black.
It's because the thing about Dark Masters, right? This is what I was like when I was doing my research, is that like you have the purple sort of like filtering to an extent and like the ability to like recur things, but also Zwart into playing like some of the most heinous like aces on plays, like against Imperial.
Zwart spawned Vicon.
That's okay. That's it.
Zwart Etamon feels like it was designed in a lab to make me go, are you fucking kidding me?
No, that's not even that crazy.
Yeah, it's just Zwart dropped the ace. It's disgusting.
Like Zwart into Granku means that your Imperial matchup becomes a lot better because you just fucking kill the kids.
Yep.
Murder them, children.
You legit like if you go second and they go Daiken and you go cool Granku.
That's intended, right? Like the Granku is supposed to fight the Imperial stuff. Like it's the thing they know. Like
for example, against like Royal Knights, right? We're bigging up Royal Knights, but Vicon just like kind of shits on Royal Knights, bro. Like
nice no source deck, dickhead.
Yeah, like no source.
That's fine. Ragnamon can still swing. He's unaffected.
Yeah, good luck.
Anyway,
and just
you get to be fair, like in very getting turn skipped by Craniumon end of turn taunt or whatever is very funny.
But like you also have like is it Mephisto or whatever, like
the level 5 that counts as a Dark Master.
Yeah, that card's really good. You also, and ironically, you just have Apocalypse. Like against Demon Lords, they have to be They have to be extremely conscious to not overmill with creepy because they'll be like,
yeah, that is the thing that I always think is funny.
5 mils, that's so awesome, bro. Yeah, I'll mill 5,
that is
and then I'll mill 5 again, and then I'll mill 5 again.
It's my favorite part of the Dark Masters deck is that, like, you know, it does all of its crazy Zwart things, and then as a backup plan, it's just like, Carbon deck.
It's also all the things that the Apocalypse can pick up now. Like you go Apocalypse, pick up Vicon, and you go, good luck, Royal Knight player. You're not swinging, and then you mill them, and then they have to delete it. Oh, but they fucking
Apocalypse pick up a thing, pop Tamers. Oh.
Yeah. You have the Gargomon's like really good into Mirage because like if they swing at 5, you just Gargo them, and then you kind of win. Into the hybrid decks as well, like.
It's also like there aren't it's not exclusively a deck that plays Mother Shoto. There are some packages with purple eggs, but like because the deck uses its raising area in its own way, like Marcy said, the engine is already airtight. You can then use Shoto Mother with with Apocalypse. Like there are versions of the deck that do all kinds of things. So like you never know what you're gonna sit down from.
So now with like tier 1, I believe in Galaxy Loop. Right? I think like the bottom end is fucking nuts. You go, woo, cha-cha slide.
It's like, just the loop. It's just like the Galaxy Toolbox.
You just go, woo, 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 2 memory, reduced by 1, evolve.
Call Hexeblaumon.
Yeah, you take the whole board apart with Hexeblaumon and bot deck a Tamer, and you go, haha, shake my hand.
I'm just kind of like, I don't see people playing this deck. I think the deck is good, right? You and Andrew, you guys are going to cook at locals. I'm going to watch Andrew's YouTube short.
Well, if I can find my deck.
It's like I'm gonna watch Andrew like come to locals and is like
crowbar and a storage unit. Let's do it, brother.
I thought it was at yours. No
I'm
idea where it
already
is
seeing the
now.
YouTube short. I'm seeing the YouTube short. Right? It's like it's Andrew. He's walking to locals, headphones, and then he's gonna give us like
lovely day for locals. Shame about the weather though.
shame about
Here's
the
my
weather.
deck.
Here's the deck, right? And then he'll have like the most like fucking ignorant ass shit. He'll be like the MetalicDramon, the Hexeblaumon, the fucking all these like broken ass cards, which
And
will
of course it'll be like the round 1 footage, and it's like fucking 08 Terriermon, bruh.
and then it'll just be like, no. But this is the thing, right? Because Andrew has been like on the grind. He's like trying to get that 3-0, 4-0, but it'll just be that. But every week, it won't even be like, I'm trying to. It's like I'm trying to not lose. It'll just be Andrew.
I have put another bad level 6 in the deck.
We'll go over that when Andrew gets to making the YouTube shorts. But I think that's our tier list in the minute.
Yeah.
And this is a 2.5-hour episode of the podcast, and we got a stuff to make. So
Yeah.
Thanks very much, live audience, as always. Want to shout out to the Twitter. You can find MCRDTCG. We haven't plugged that in a little while. I have finally regained access to an Adobe account. I have a new fun open case with Adobe support where I don't have access to my stuff, which is, we'll get back to that. We'll make the things again. But MCRDTCG follows on Twitter. Follow Misplay for GamePod on TikTok. Find the shorts there. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel. A lot of people think they're subscribed, but they're not always subscribed.
Trying to hit 3K.
Yeah, trying to be 3K. Be a member. You can help support things like the podcast. Watch all the gameplay videos, blah, blah, blah. If you're live on Twitch, Twitch Prime is free. You know where you're at. It's September. Welcome back to uni, students. Your Amazon student is free. You should get that most of the time.
Also, it's
September,
September, so if you want to do a recurring sub, it's slightly cheaper. It's my birthday on Monday. It's Marcio's on Wednesday. You want to make us happy?
What the hell? You just doxed me.
You're
Bro,
fine.
we do it. This is. I'm just saying.
You're gonna be in the YouTube short on Wednesday anyway.
Yeah.
No, it'll be Andrew.
No, I'm gonna be like, no.
He's
When I
gonna
get my
do
buy
all
round,
one.
I'm gonna make everyone sing "Happy Birthday," and that's gonna be the round 2 buy. And it's gonna say "Happy Birthday, Marcio." Thumbs up in the comment.
I will leave.
Leave a happy birthday, Marcio, in the comment.
I will go to Greg's.
He thought you were subbed, but it's YouTube. This is why I tell people. This is why we do it.
But
Welcome to
yeah.
the 3K.
Appreciate everyone for joining us. Thank you, H, for showing up as our guest. Appreciate you being available on short notice. Maybe next week there'll be the game show that I really want to talk to. Yeah, we need to sort something out. September's very, very busy, but October will be the month of guests. But yeah, thanks as always for episode 27. If you're new to the game, enjoy your stay. I hope our tier list was somewhat helpful, or the decks that we suggested. But yeah, thanks for all the follows, everyone. Thanks for the subscriptions and everything.
Buy out Alt Argomon.
Buy Alt Argomon. Go on Card Market, buy one, and in your feedback be like Misplay for game smiley emoji.
I want to actually see a noticeable price. Don't do this. This is not.
No, I want you to meta manipulate. Get one of our Card Market accounts banned.
Argomon sweet.
Catch you later again.
Do anything.
But he does the funny pose.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.